Oh, that does. Hang on. Okay, sorry, hiding that for now. trying to do some things. Okay, anyone. Hey everyone, I'm Cosmic, I'm up to the cloud. Already starting off with some technical difficulties. Not even really, just me screwing up. My browser capture, don't worry about it. Hello. So yeah, well, I'll probably end up having to say this multiple times. I know I said I wasn't gonna do this and now I'm doing it, but we'll get to that in a second. There's the Discord ping. Okay. I kind of just decided last second I should probably have like music playing here instead of just silence at the beginning, so then I almost showed the wrong thing. Okay. Cool. What is up? Oh, that's weird. The song didn't loop. Okay, I'm just found some like random playlist. Anyway, is the music good? It might be too loud. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out everything right now. Aesthetic not beyond. Yeah, so I wasn't gonna do side order, but there's a lot of things I realized I did actually want to talk about. And like the main thing I didn't want to do is the main reason I didn't want to do side order is the levels are randomized, so I can't really like talk about every single level in depth. And two, you know, I've just talked about side order a lot in my initial playthrough. I was already kind of analyzing everything. I just did the big video about it and everything. But there is lots of stuff I missed, lots of stuff I didn't cover in the video. Concept art to show, you know, being able to view parts of the story, you know, with the retrospective lens. So I thought it'd be worth doing, and you know, just the sake of, you know, going through all of the campaigns. I think, you know, I want to do it, and we're doing it now. So that is that. And I thought we could start, with, you know, the trailer. The first ever trailer, kind of like how we did for Octo Expansion. I could have done this for all the campaigns. I maybe should have done it for like Return of the Mammalians, but this one in particular, because I think, you know, first of all, so this first part isn't even side order. You know, this is just, but this was like the Splatoon 3 DLC reveal. Like, I don't think anyone was expecting it this early. They just did this in a Nintendo Direct. They just, you know, pulled up with, okay, we're doing DLC now. Everyone thought it was gonna be like the train station, and it was. So yeah, and then this. So again, this isn't side order. I still have kind of mixed feelings about them bringing back the Splatoon 1 and 2 hub. Like, I just don't get the point of it exactly. I feel like this was just sort of supposed to like add value to the expansion pass and get people to like pay for it, you know, before side order was actually ready to show. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't really care. To this day, I don't really care that much that all the hubs are in Splatoon 3. Like, I guess if you didn't have a Wii U, you know, maybe this would have been kind of cool, but it's just like, it's just a hub. It's just like a circle you could walk around in, and functionally it's all the same. So I don't know. It's cool for Splatfest, I guess. But other than that, yeah, I still like, this just feels like kind of a weird thing to do as DLC, in my opinion, to be honest. But yeah, then we have, you know, the real deal.
Oh, what's this?
And obviously, like, the tone of this is still just so interesting. Sorry, I know I keep making the progress bar come up, but yeah, just like the intensity. I don't know, the audio does so much of the work here in the music, but like, that still just hits so hard. And I do, you know, as much as I'm a side order defender, I do think we never really got like the full realization of like this, you know. Yeah, after waiting a year to hear the full version of the song, it was funny finding out that's the whole thing. Yeah, like, I really do wish we got like a whole, you know, even if Spectrum Obligado was going to be the like, you know, the final version of it, I still wish there was like a bit more to it than just this. And then let's even because the other trailer, at this point you can already definitely see, you know, the tone feels a lot more in line with what we got in the final game. Like the music, well, I mean, it still starts with this. Which this is actually, I don't think this version of the theme is not in-game, which is interesting. The original reveal trailer, I think, is closer to the final version of the song. Like, this is just purely like a trailer version of the song. But yeah. This is definitely more like, you know, what the final look of the game, you know, feels like. Yeah. So even, I mean, this is where for me, like, because to this day, you know, a side order gameplay is fun. I think it's cool. Again, I like that they tried something new. For me, like, this was already, I don't want to say a red flag, but like the focus on combat for me, you know, okay, but then this was huge. So I'll finish my thought. Like, yeah, the focus on combat to me, I still wish there was more like platforming or kind of like puzzly design. I like that better in Splatoon than just, you know, a bunch of, you know, big wave of tanky enemies like Salmon Run. The lighting is actually definitely different here, because this was still like a good, like, well, this was September, so that's, you know, like 6 months, around 5-6 months before the actual reveal of the game. So they were still working on stuff, you know, down to the last second. Even like I feel like the lighting here looks different. Yeah, like, doesn't it look like darker? I actually kind of like this better. So we're gonna get into the concept art. I feel like this looks a bit closer to the concept art, where there's kind of like, there's like sharper shadows. The final game is a bit more kind of like washed out, I feel, which maybe, you know, is a little intentional, but I don't know. I kind of, it's one of those things where I don't know if I like this just because it's different or if it's actually better. Oh, actually, wow, this background, unless this is like a tutorial, this background almost looks unfinished, right? I don't think there's any just like massive blank walls like this throughout most of the game. Yeah. Also that was such a fake out shot, right? Like, because everyone thought this was like a thing coming out of the tower, and that this was some kind of like major cutscene moment, and they just put the camera up next to one of the little like particle effects to make it look like it was huge. This is such a funny shot in retrospect. Like, they really just like there's no reason to do this camera angle besides to make it look like something that it definitely just isn't. But yeah, that's interesting. And then the meat grinder. So this was always kind of something I knew where it's like, okay, this just looks like a background element. Like, this probably isn't actually going to matter. Obviously, a lot of people with, like, you know, the blender and Octo expansion, then seeing the meat grinder were like, whoa, that's something. But yeah, yeah. Then so dead fish reveal. Obviously, this was a very big deal for hardcore fans. It is kind of like nonchalant. I don't know. It's cool though. It's definitely like one of those like if you know moments. Like people who don't know Splatoon like just, you know, didn't like feel anything seeing this. But yeah. You guys can hear me, right? I don't know why I'm randomly paranoid that the audio isn't working. Okay, no, yeah, my mic is going. We should be good. Sorry, I'm like looking at chat on my phone right now because of how I have the thing set up. But yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Thank you. I didn't even think we were gonna watch this full trailer. I just wanted to actually talk about the end, but might as well. Yeah, okay, the lighting. I don't know if it's just because I'm looking at this on a different monitor than I normally play the game, but I feel like the lighting in all these scenes actually is significantly different from the final game. Oh, the palette definitely looks different. The chips aren't like glowing as much. Yeah, gameplay-wise, everything's pretty much you know, as is. Okay, this is another shot where it's like they get clever with the camera work on the trailers, and I gotta commend them, but also like this totally looks like a cutscene, or especially like I'm trying to get to that one part where it's like yeah, like this looks like something so much more important is happening here than what's actually happening. This is literally just like the start of a level. And I do think they wanted us to, or I don't know. I think some of us getting our hopes up was not entirely our fault. Like, I feel like some of these shots definitely, like, you know. And that's just a respawn animation. Like, that's... Okay, this is like a starting platform. But yeah, I don't know, man. Okay, so this is the part I actually wanted to talk about. Because then again, like, even though the tone throughout most of the trailer is like, okay, it's less, like, creepy and ominous, it's kind of just more, like, intense, like, okay, like, gameplay-oriented, whatever, like, Deadfish is here, that's cool, but it's like, you know, Pearl is all, you know, normal Pearl, whatever. But then they hit us with this ending part, where the music does this thing again. And, like, this shot. Like, I don't know. Like, I know they tried to make Order, like, creepy or intimidating or whatever, but I just feel like we never got, like, the full realization of that, like, genuine, like, creepiness and sense of unease. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, the Agent 4 theories, I remember that, even though it was literally just, like, copy-pasted from the the run speed ability. But yeah. Hey, Gooberling. So yeah, I just wanted to, you know, take one last look at those because it's interesting. It's in some ways unfortunate. But yeah, I don't know. It's just an important part of kind of the history of Side Order. Any of my own, I made a couple of videos. Here, let me get the audio. Yeah, I wasn't going to anti-flow, but I decided to in the end. So also this is the thing, by the way, this is not actually gameplay, this is a clip. Oops. But yeah, you guys probably know that Pearl can do this if you idle for long enough, but yeah, this is a thing. Yeah, I mean, I've never been like an Agent 4 fan or whatever, so I didn't really, you know, care too much. I do wish parallel canon was like at least a bit better explained in game. But yeah. What else? So okay, I don't know when a good time to do this is, but I just, you know, might as well show. So boom. I do have physical Bonkala Walker. So I have some like screenshots. There's not like a great scan. Also hand reveal. I've shown my hands before, but yeah. There's not like a great scan of this online yet. Like I have a, you know, PDF that's like someone took a bunch of pictures of it. But yeah, I don't know. I figured I could show it like this. And the cool thing about this, by the way, is like, so this is you know, I mean, it's in Japanese. So the whole book is in Japanese, which is, you know, I just got it for the art and because I know some people who could like translate it or whatever. But like this is, you know, Bonkala Walker is like the human name of this, but then you take off this like sleeve thing, right? And then you just have like the in-game Splatoon version, which is pretty cool. So it's not hard. Yeah, well, it's because it's supposed to be like a magazine. So I'm pretty sure it's the same for Hikara Walker, where it's yeah, it's not a hardcover. But yeah, so I don't know, like I had some pages I wanted to show, but maybe we can wait till we actually get to that. Also, my camera quality is like not of the highest caliber, so sorry about that. But yeah, I guess we can. Sorry. Okay, let me look, because there is some interesting Side Order stuff for sure. Here, okay, well, this is cool because it's Jeez, how do I show this? So we actually, you know, in that first side order trailer, there's all those like images that flash on screen for just a split second, and they actually have all of those here, like in their full form. I know, like this one was really blurry, in the trailer. Oh my god, I have the camera. There we go. But yeah, also, okay, so there's lots of art where Pearl is like a hologram rather than just being the drone form, which is interesting. It seems like that was, yeah, I don't have like a real good like setup for the camera. It's just like a webcam, so yeah, we won't do this for that long. I just wanted to kind of like show off some stuff. I know they showed this art in like the interview, so there is like a proper digital version of that. Yeah, I like this order shot. I low-key like this better than the final one. But yeah, so here's another really interesting one of, oh my god, the bottom one there with Pearl as a hologram, because 8 is like, first of all, this art is like weirdly on model for Splatoon art. Like it looks like this is like maybe like actually traced over like, you know, 3D models or something. But it's like 8 is like losing, like you have like the cracked ink tank and they're like covered in the ink, so it's like I don't know if this is just pure like vibes like concept art or if this was actually going to be like a scene or something. But yeah, it is interesting that it was pretty much always going to be Pearl and 8. I love this top one. Can this like focus? I don't know. Again, my camera is not the best, but yeah, the cool like biker jacket look. Does it have the one with the shoe? I'm not sure, actually. I think I know what image you're talking about. I don't see that here. It does have the not Commander Tartar one. Oh god, I can't, like my monitor's like in the way. Sorry. I know this isn't like the best viewing experience, but I thought it would be more fun to do it like this. This one I love the look of like I do like, you know, the final aesthetic of like the order sector and everything, but this like elevator covered in graffiti is a really, really cool look too. I don't see the image with that had the shoe in the corner. There's just a couple of other things I wanted to show. One, so like I know a lot of people notice like Marina in the Marina boss fight is like weirdly big, and for the most part people just are like, oh, it's just so you can like see it better. It's just for visibility. But there is concept art where like Marina is just giant. So like maybe that was just an intentional part of the design. Because there's like, I think this might be the only one. There's a couple of other things. So I really just love this art. Here, okay, I can just kind of not the best setup in the world, but I really love this Agent 8 art. This is really cool. But yeah. Oh yeah, there's some Overlorder, and I'll get into some of this stuff later. Here's more like fuel for the weird cloning idea. I don't know what's up with all these like weird bald inklings and creatures and things. But yeah, definitely lots of just interesting, you know, aesthetic ideas. Oh, and this, oh shoot, I forgot to put some of these things into OBS. Hang on. Okay, I'm getting, well, no, okay, well, I'll show this now. So let's see. So I just really love this art. The style of it is so interesting. So weirdly, there's some concepts of Pearl in a wheelchair, and like I have no idea what the story significance of this would have been. But yeah, we have like, I assume Agent 8, and is that Cuttlefish? Yeah, because it's the bamboozler. I wasn't sure if it was like Cuttlefish or like the captain, but yeah, they're being chased by like octorpedoes, which are from like, you know, the Octavio boss fight and the Octo shower, and Pearl is in a wheelchair, and I have no idea what's going on. But yeah, there's this weird, like, you know, trippy marina. Like, I feel like they wanted to do more like dreamscape stuff, which I do really wish they leaned into more. But yeah, I don't know. It's so interesting to me. I really just love the look of this art. The wheelchair Pearl, like, I don't know why that would have been a thing, but I weirdly just love it. Like, just the look of her, like, spinning the wheels and everything. Like, it just, I don't know. It would have been fun. But yeah, I have no idea, like, what the plan would have been for that. Anyway, let's get into the actual game for a bit now. I have to make a new Switch profile. 1 second. Because I deleted the, the Return of the Mammalians one after beating it. But yeah, lots of really, really interesting ideas. And it is a thing where, you know, it's like concept art sometimes is just concept art. It's just they had an idea and for whatever reason it didn't work out. But with Side Order, there were so many things where I almost wonder if I don't know, because it feels like they were a bit limited with the scope of the story, especially just with it being a roguelite. I don't know. I like what we got, but also it feels like there were so many other ways it could have gone that maybe would have been a little bit more interesting. I don't believe there is Glenn Fiddler concept art. Yeah, also, so, sorry, if I had planned ahead, I would have made this so we didn't have to do the whole tutorial again. I didn't really... So my profiles are like a mess because I was trying to figure out how to do this, and I'm like, I have one Side Order profile. I think I have like multiple, I have like one that's 100%ed, one that has like beaten Order all the times but doesn't have the hacks, one that has like just beaten the tutorial, and one that's beaten like half of the tutorial. So we'll figure it out. But this one, we're gonna just run through the tutorial really quick and then jump into Side Order. Yeah, I'll do the skip for sure. Oh, the torpedoes were they in the Grizz fight? I actually forgot about that. I know he has ink strikes and like some other things. But yeah, hope you guys are doing good. I always kind of plan this stuff a little too last second. If I always feel a little overwhelmed. I don't know if that comes across in the commentary. It probably does a little bit, but yeah, I probably could plan this stuff out, you know, a little bit more than just like the night before. But yeah, I have more interesting stuff to show. Okay, yeah, I have like notes again. What's a roguelite? It's like the genre that Side Order is. It's like games where when you die, you get set all the way back to the beginning. Well, that's a roguelike, and then a roguelite is where you die, you get set all the way back to the beginning, but there are some like permanent upgrades that you get. So, I mean, some of them, so everyone compares it to Hades, because Hades is like the, you know, the really good roguelite that everyone really likes. I haven't played it. I believe that it is as good as people say, but it handles its story, I guess, in a way where, you know, it kind of works better than Side Order, I guess, because you're kind of progressing, like, through the runs you do, you know, you get more and more story each time, and it doesn't feel like it ends right away. So I haven't played the game, so I can't really make detailed comparisons, but yeah, I do wish Side Order did something a little more like that, where the game didn't, like, feel like it kind of ends on the first run. But yeah. Got top 500 in tower control, nice. Yeah, I got the top 3,000 badge, despite like barely playing X rank this season. Which I think that's just because not that many people play in the North America division, but I don't know, it's funny. I will take it, I guess. Oh shoot, I probably should have read that. We read it in the, you know what it is. There's the horde of spaced out wretches packing Inkopolis Square. The people were, you know, staring off into space. So I guess that is a little bit... It's confusing what the extent of Order's, like, power is. Especially in terms of, like, the range of grayscaling. Because... like, you know, no one in Splatsville is being grayscaled yet, but people in the square are. So supposedly, like, Marina's computer with the Memverse on it is in the square. But then there's the whole thing of people being pulled in through the Sea Cucumber phones. So there doesn't seem to be a limit to that, but for whatever reason, at the start of the story, there is. And that's a little strange. I always forget if it's... Do I play on 4.5 and 4 or 4 and 4.5? I think this is correct. We'll roll with this for now. It's probably close enough. Well, it wasn't... No, because I didn't even do my placements in clams. So it wasn't clams. But yeah, okay, so without further ado, 26 minutes, we're getting into the actual game. That's honestly better than some of the other campaigns on these streams. So yeah, so in my video, I had like that little pop-up. I personally interpret this as like, for some reason, Order's power is currently limited to the square. So when Neo 3 rides the train to the square, their mind gets pulled into the Memverse, and that's why we switch to controlling 8. I don't know if that's, like, correct. That's what makes the most sense to me, because otherwise I don't know, like, I think this is, like, happening, right? Like, I don't think this is just Neo 3 is falling asleep, and now we're playing side order. I think this happens here because it is Neo 3 getting their mind taken over by Order. To me, that makes the most sense, but I think that's at least somewhat up to interpretation. I'm not beating Smalls, like, all of the times. Just gonna focus on doing one run for now. I'd like to maybe do at least 2. But we got some things to look at as we go, so we'll see. Yeah, I don't know what Neo 3, I mean, they would just... So the whole, okay, I'll continue just so we have music. Yo, wait, you awake or what? I really wish grayscaling was explained better. we got lore for sanitization in Side Order, but we really did not get much about grayscaling. And you know, it's not like as deep as sanitization, but like just the mechanics of it are confusing, because I believe in when you finish the game and watch the news, deep cut, there's some line like Big Man is talking to Fry and he's like, oh, didn't I have to ask like 5 times for you to pass the soy sauce the other day? So it's like, they don't even seem like entirely like, you know, they're just sort of like out of it a little bit, but they're not entirely like their minds don't function. It's just like they like are in a trance, which kind of, you know, that sounds like how Shiver describes them on the news. It's like a, you know, a bunch of spaced out, they're spaced out people in Inkopolis Square. They're not like, you know, brain dead. They're just like kind of like loopy. So I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, is that like just the beginning stage of grayscaling, or is that just what grayscaling is? It's one of those things where Order is kind of like an unreliable character because it doesn't really know what it's doing or what it's talking about. So like, I don't even know if it actually had the power to end the world. I don't think there's not really a lot of concept for grayscaling. I don't believe, like, all of the important lore that's been translated, I'm pretty sure I've read, and I don't think we really got anything about grayscaling. Well, I'm not sure, Elise, because like maybe it's just a joke. That's what's annoying about it, because Deep Cut's pallets were in the Memverse, so supposedly they should have been affected like over the course of the story of Side Order by something. But it's really confusing. There's also the question of minds versus souls and parts of souls. It's really confusing what getting pulled into the Memverse actually means. Sci-fi induced depression? I mean, I don't think it's depression necessarily. I guess it's almost like executive dysfunction, maybe. I don't know. But yeah. I never noticed these sound effects for when you're selecting stuff. That's kind of cool. Oh, there's like a little reverse sound effect for going back. That's actually kind of fun. And like, okay, sorry, I went back because it's like, I think there's like a little static sound that gets like less noticeable the further you get. It gets like higher pitched at least. Yeah, cool. Okay. Word, that's late, I know. Nice, if you hadn't come around, I didn't have a plan B. What's up? I got something on my face? Oh right, you wouldn't recognize me like this. I'm Pearl. You know, your bestie. No, for serious, I'm legit Pearl. Not sure I got this way, but here I am. Not sure where Marina went either. She's supposed to be with me. So... Okay, there's a few things to talk about here. First of all, this line... I don't think 8 lost any more of their memory. I'm pretty sure this is just for the sake of, like, a tutorial. But I know, like, I made fun of, like, the ProChar thumbnail. And again, like, ProChar is cool. No hate to him. It was a joke, but it's like, he made a, you know, a video like, we lost our memory again? And like, no, I don't think that happened. And to be fair, this line is very confusing. Like, if you don't really know what's going on in this story, like, it does seem to kind of be implying that. But then, yeah, it's cool. You just woke up. Might take some time for your head to clear. I think it's just like a, you know, if you started with Splatoon 3 and didn't play Splatoon 2, this is what's going on. I'm pretty sure that's the only point of that dialogue. But yeah. Another thing, Pearl was like, Marina's supposed to be with me. And Marina's not supposed to be with her. Marina's at the top of the tower. Like, even before Marina gets taken over by Order, she's supposed to be at the top of the tower. She describes that in the dev diary. So I don't know if this is, like, a weird, like, writing situation, an NA localization thing, or if it's just Pearl being kind of dumb and not really remembering what Marina said. Cause like, Marina's basically like, yeah, Pearl doesn't really get what's going on, but she's like happy to help out. So like, I don't know if this is like Pearl wasn't listening and didn't realize that Marina would be separate from them. Cause the whole point is that like 8 is the test subject, Marina is user guidance, or Pearl is user guidance, and then Marina is supposed to be at the top of the tower. So like, I don't know if Pearl just like didn't get the memo. I don't know. It's one of those lines where it's like, we shouldn't have to think as hard about it, but it's a little bit confusing. But yeah, I fully think it's just like, okay, they just had their brain like sucked into a computer. Their head's just like a little fuzzy. They need a second to get their bearings. I don't think they forgot who Marina is, but yeah, I just... The dev diary says Agent 8 a few times, but obviously there's that part where Marina is like, you know, it feels too formal to say Agent 8, so I switched to just saying 8. And this story takes place after, you know, they had that interaction. So I'm pretty sure in the dialogue they just say 8, which I really like. I mean, I said this, you know, in my original playthrough, but I really think it's cool that 8 has, like, you know, claimed the name as their own. So I like that they went with that. But yeah, so Marina basically got, you know, she just got taken over by Order. Again, the timeline of events is like a little bit confusing because, you know, we kind of learn what happens before the story after we see it. But yeah, like, this was kind of already happening, I guess, while Neo 3 was, like, taking the train. Also, yeah, so yeah, this is The snow is the ashes of incinerated memories. I think it's a little bit easier to see because the spire hasn't transformed yet. I think it makes a little bit more sense once you know, the spire actually transforms from Order's influence, because I think you can actually see like the ash spewing out. But yeah, this is all ash of like incinerated memories. It does continue, yeah, which is a little weird. I do kind of wish, like, even if the snow on the ground or the ash on the ground didn't clear up, I at least wish it like stopped snowing. Like, I mean, I think the idea is that like Order has, you know, like some of this stuff happened before the game. Like, I don't think Marina just got taken over by Order like right in this moment. I think like the second pretty much, you know, she plugged herself in, she got taken over, Order started messing around, and then it took a little bit for like 8 and Pearl to wake up. So yeah, it doesn't exactly make sense that there's all this ash already, I guess. But yeah, I know the squid logo has fallen. Because this is already not Deca Tower. You know, this is like a weird Marina version. But yeah, this is like this from the start. I don't think anything else in the hub changes. I'm pretty sure it's just like that part of the tower that changes. Yeah, and obviously Cypher appears over here. Don't know if there's too much else that we can see at this point. Obviously, so these things are here. All right, okay, this is one thing I can look at. So they did actually explain what these are. This is from the interview. I guess I should probably link the interview. Well, okay, I'll read this first. So this is from their first side order Famitsu interview. So we know the Memverse is a virtual world that Marina created by copying Inkopolis Square. But there are square objects, spiral-like bars, and snow-like shapes that appear in the sky or fall out of nowhere. What are they? And Inouye said, each element of the program that makes up the virtual world is represented as a plankton-like shape. The objects that appear in the City of Order and the foyer are those plankton reacting to sound and emitting light. The staff members who had proposed to handle the project created art installations where they, when they were students, making an authentic final product. So yeah, obviously this is like the post-game foyer in the image there, but yeah, the things popping up are plankton apparently, which I don't know how much like sense that makes, but it's neat that I guess there's technically an explanation for it, and it is just a really cool effect, the way everything is synced up. Obviously we'll see that later in the foyer. Is this for real? Wherever we are, it's nothing like the Inkopolis Square Tower. I'm getting the heebie-jeebies. Keep your eyes open. So yeah, it is interesting that this is technically a different room than what the foyer ends up being later. I mean, it's, you know, it's very slightly different, but... Favorite side order boss? Rondo, for sure. Rebel's coming for us. Use these. I do love this little animation 8 does here. You remember your way around a weapon, right? Yeah. Something I actually wanted to test. What happens if you die here? It's probably not that interesting. I'm just curious because probably like no one ever did. Is there a respawn animation? Oh, we get a fade out? Oh, interesting. Non-canon respawn. Huh. That's more interesting than I thought it would be. Would you look at that? We actually rewind time. Eight is dead. Yeah, that's actually, the implications of that are interesting. Because, like, what does happen if you die in the Memverse and you don't respawn? I didn't really know that could happen. Yeah, roll credits. Huh. I don't know why that's genuinely, because, I mean, there just aren't a lot of places in Splatoon that you don't canonically respawn. How did they ever beat Sardar? Yeah. Ooh, I think that was the last of them. Oh, where'd I get the weapon from? I don't know, your guess is as good as mine. Just felt like something I had in me, you know? So, like, obviously the palette represents her soul, so that, like, kind of makes sense. I don't know. At some point, it's just, you know, video game logic or sci-fi logic, but, like, we don't know exactly how they are interfacing with the Memverse. Like, from that one image we have, you know, 8, Pearl, and Marina seem like they're kind of, like, plugged into Marina's laptop, but also people can enter the Memverse just by being, like, you know, sucked in through a cell phone. So I don't know how they, like, move individual parts of their body or will their palette into existence or whatever. And we're probably not gonna get a solid answer for that, but yeah. You die in the Memverse, you die in real life, yeah. It's in scratch our heads all we want, but why bother when answers are up there? Let's get going, Nate. What happens if I die now? Also, wait, are the little graffiti things here yet? Or can you not even... Oh, you can't actually land on these. And now we have cannon respawn. Interesting. That's so weird. That they wouldn't just respawn the gelatin. Huh. That is really weird. Whoa. I've actually never seen this before. I didn't know there were, like, plankton effects. Huh. Also, okay, yeah, that is, thank you for bringing that up, Daniel, because that's another thing I wanted to mention. So, to this day, I think this is just a bug or an oversight, but they haven't fixed it for some reason. But if your main character in multiplayer is an Inkling, when you die as 8 in side order, an Inkling soul comes out. Which, like, and the respawn animation, it's an Inkling soul. Which is kind of annoying, because it definitely feels like it's not intentional. But it's just kind of a thing that exists and is kind of weird. I mean, I think it just looks like an elevator. I don't I don't know. We heard Marina at the top of the tower and there's an elevator. I think she's just connecting the dots. But yeah, I never really paid attention to this. I didn't really notice that this was a song and not just like ambiance, but there is like, yeah, there's like really faint synths kind of swelling in the background and there's these little effects. That's cool. This is actually something I feel like I never would have noticed if I wasn't doing a stream like this. Nice. Marina only no, because if your main character is an Octoling, then it is an Octoling soul. So like both exist. They just like my best guess is that like the way the game works is that there's just like a flag set for if you're an Inkling or Octoling, and for some reason like when you customize 8, it's like a separate player object. So the soul still just like does whatever your, you know, normal player was assigned to. Oh, it's a little fix in the water too. Cool. But yeah, I really, it's a really strange oversight, and it's really weird to me that they haven't patched it to fix it, because it seems like it would be really easy. No, for sure, Carson. Like, that's the thing about Sidor, is like most of the questions that we have about the lore can kind of just be explained away by the fact that it's the Memverse, and it's like its own world with its own logic. I was considering saying that in the video, but I didn't really, I don't know. I wrote it out of the script and never wrote it back in, I guess. But yeah, like, that's the thing with Sidor, is like some stuff doesn't make sense and doesn't feel, you know, necessarily super cohesive with the rest of the world of Splatoon, but this game doesn't take place in the world of Splatoon. It takes place in the Memverse, which is definitely a cop-out, but it's Nintendo's cop-out. It's not my cop-out, so, you know, it's just how it is. Yeah, I mean, even with it being a Memverse, it still kind of makes more sense than Alterna Loki, but yeah. I guess we can go ahead and actually progress the story. Enter the elevator. Hello, Oct. Also, it's cool that this, like... Oh, you with those fish we busted up? Second, mate. I like that instruments get added Like when you're in this part of the cutscene, you only have this little piano thing. Cool it, I'm not your enemy. Just another bystander who got sucked in. Take it you two followed Marina's voice here. Say what? You know Marina too? Yeah, Pearl always gets teleported to you. For that gameplay responsiveness. And then picks in there. This is such a good song. I use this so much in my videos. I think I used it twice in the side order video. So Oct. I admit I did kind of dance around this in my video, but Oct existing the way they do in the Memverse is kind of like one of the biggest questions with side order. Because they don't have a palette, but for some reason they are like physically here. And there's like one elevator conversation where they like, you know, kind of explain it, but it doesn't really actually explain anything. Hello, Eli. But yeah, like they're just like, when Oct's soul was pulled into the Memverse, it fixed onto Oct, I think is Marina's wording, which like that doesn't make any sense because what do you mean it fixed onto them if it was them? I don't know. It doesn't quite make sense. But yes, Oct is here in person for some reason, even though none of the other people who got pulled into the Memverse are. And that doesn't really make sense. Like it's kind of just a contrivance because they wanted to have Oct be like an actual character. And I do wish that was better explained. I mean, yeah, maybe Carson, but it's like, again, we're just going off like, orders seem to pull people into the Memverse indiscriminately is the thing. So like, I don't know why it would be different for Oct. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It'd be cool if they had a bigger role. I think I kind of don't mind what they are, but yeah, like they feel a little shoehorned in. Like I do think I like what they did for sure with like the secret letters. Like for me, the dialogue and the writing and the sanitization lore and everything and how important that is to the Memverse and to Marina and to Oct, like I think they earned their right to like be in this story. But it does kind of feel like it's like, okay, let's put in this fan favorite character and work backwards from there. You know, like it does feel like a little bit, you know, a little bit unfinished, I guess. But also, yeah, their arm being injured. Like once again, it's like, well, it's the Memverse has its own logic, but it's like it's weird. I mean, Inkfish injuries are kind of just weird in general, right? Because the injuries we see in the game are, you know, always ink-based. It's always you get hit by something with ink, so if you swim in your own ink, it heals. Whereas, you know, I don't know exactly what happened to Oct's arm, but, you know, supposedly they got, like, hit by a gelatin. But it seems weird. Like, if you're in a digital world and you can respawn, it's almost like, why would you not just kill yourself and respawn? But then even, okay, so, but then this goes into other questions. I've talked about this before with some people, but you have Octavio. DJ Octavio is said to not be able to transform out of octopus form due to an injury he sustained in the Great Turf War. So, supposedly you can have permanent injuries that do not get fixed just by swimming in ink or respawning. So, we just don't really have great explanations for that yet. But it does seem like, you know, Inkfish can have permanent injuries. Does Oct have the Armengred Festival? No, because in the final cutscene, when there's like the rhythm sequence and everybody wakes up from grayscaling, Marina just like heals Oct's arm somehow, which is like, I don't know why she couldn't just have done that from the beginning. Like, again, with the hacks, it's like Order is like constantly working against Marina to keep everything in place how it wants it in the members, and Marina is like fighting against that through her own programming. But I don't know why Ox arm specifically is something that Order would have been suppressing. I mean, maybe it was, but yeah, Marina just like types something up, you know, in like the final end cutscene, and Ox arm just gets healed. So yeah, it's just kind of a plot contrivance, I think, unfortunately. So how did Oct get their memories back? So that's another question. Yeah, so Oct clearly did not climb the entire tower, and they don't have a pallet. I mean, I think that's the best explanation we have, right? Is like, they didn't climb the tower and fill out their pallet, but they don't even have a pallet. For whatever reason, their pallet is just like, you know, still a part of their soul, you know, it's just within them. So I don't know why their memories just automatically went back to them. We just don't know. Like, again, unfortunately, a lot of the stuff with Oct is just kind of unexplained and is just a little, you know, we just don't know. The Inkfish get resistant to injuries, but it doesn't really make sense that Octavio would have an injury then, because he fought in the war. Yeah, I don't know if the hat design was meant to look like Order. I mean, it's from Octo Expansion, so I feel like it, I don't know. I don't really know if it's meant to look like anything. But it is the same hat that Paul has, or it's not the same hat, but it's the same logo that appears on Paul's beanie from Sashimori. So that's the thing. Marina was too busy fighting Order? I mean, maybe. If she's able to hack, like, upgrades for 8, it feels like she could also, you know, help Oct, but I don't know. Yeah, it would have been cool to incorporate Oct's palette in somehow. Is that where all the Oct and Paul family headcanon? Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know people necessarily headcanon them as family. I just thought they like knew each other, but yeah, it could be. Did we get an update on this? I can't remember. I know they acknowledged it in one point in an interview, but I think it basically came down to like, oh, we don't know. I think it could be just as simple as like they like the same brand, but maybe they know each other. I don't think we ever got proper confirmation. This is the canon version of the conversation. Aiden and Pearl just stand there for 10 minutes. Yeah, this is how it goes. I don't really mind that Pearl is a static character, because being a static character isn't a bad thing. It just depends how you write the story. I think Pearl being a character that is like, you know, someone Marina looks up to, I think that works with their dynamic. I mean, you know, in my video I said, like, I don't think Pearl should have been like the focus in that ending scene. I did get a comment like where someone did argue against it, like basically saying like, yeah, well, like Pearl is the person that pushed Marina to grow, but for me, I think that moment still should have been Marina's moment. Like Pearl could have contributed. I don't know. I mean, the problem with Splatoon stories is that they lack. So I mean, you guys probably know the hero's journey to some extent. Let me look up like an image. So why is this so low quality? There's one that's like a transparent image and one that isn't, but okay. Let me just. So, yeah. Here's journey. So obviously there's a bunch of different versions of this. And there's not like one right like version or whatever. And you don't have to write a story like this, but it's, you know, if you try analyzing a lot of very popular stories, you'll find, you know, there's this kind of the call to adventure and then crossing the threshold into like the other world. There's like normally more things. I like this version better, but it's so low quality. Oh, that doesn't... Okay, so yeah, there's like the supernatural aid. Anyway, so the point I'm trying to make here is that Splatoon stories and most Nintendo stories don't have the abyss at the bottom, right? There's kind of this... There's the call to adventure, there's the inciting event where you cross into the other world. In the case of Side Order, right, it's obviously entering the Memverse, and saving Marina is our call to adventure. And then, you know, the character, you know, grows and changes, the metamorphosis, and then, you know, returning back to their home world with the things they have learned from the adventure. In this case, it's very obvious, actually. It's you know, obviously just leaving the Memverse, returning to Inkopolis Square, and, like, Marina is now, like, you know, a different person. She has been changed by her experience. But Splatoon stories always pretty much lack the abyss, which is supposed to be this point where, you know, the character suffers the most, or like is forced to develop the most. And I'm not like a professional like story writer, by the way. This is just stuff I've like learned and figured out. I've taken some like classes on like writing, but yeah, I mean, this is pretty basic, you know, just storytelling, you know, theory. But I think the closest thing we get to an abyss in any Splatoon game is probably the blender scene from Octo Expansion. And even then, that's not really like a character development moment necessarily. That's just like, you know, the most dangerous or like the closest the hero comes to failing, I guess. And for me, like it works to make, you know, the whole escape sequence of Octo Expansion is like, there's actually like build up to the climax. There's actually rising action. And like, I guess the closest thing we have to an abyss in Side Order is the grayscaling event, but that's why that part doesn't work for me, because it just gets undone instantly. You know, it's not like halfway through the story, it's like right at the very end, like, oh no, something bad is happening, never mind. So, like, it's why I say that moment doesn't feel earned, because it just doesn't, you know, there's not really, no growth happens in that moment. Marina has already grown before that moment. So it doesn't quite work. You're forced to question their values and morals. And this is what I want. Like, this, so badly, I just want a Splatoon story with an abyss. Just some narrative beat that happens, like, halfway through the game where, you know, the characters are somehow forced. It doesn't even have to be like a huge character development moment. It's just like in Zelda games. Yeah, it's just more the climax than really an abyss. Like something bad happening at the end. It's not, I wouldn't even really call it the grayscaling event. It's really just the climax. It's really not an abyss. So like Zelda games don't have like, you know, the most complex stories of all time, but what I really like about them is they have something in the middle that like recontextualizes everything you're doing. Like in Twilight Princess, basically the setup of most classic Zelda games is, especially the 3D ones, is like you go across the world and collect, like, it's normally 3 things, and then something happens. In Ocarina of Time, you collect the 3 sacred stones, but then it turns out Ganon was tricking you the whole time to opening the sacred realm, and he takes over the world. And now you have to, like, fix that because you know, Link made that mistake of falling into Ganon's trap, and now he has to go around and collect the medallions from the sages. In the Wind Waker, you collect the goddess orbs, and, you know, go into the trial in the Tower of the Gods, to get the... What happens? I forget exactly the story of Wind Waker, but it's... they give you the quest of collecting the Triforce of Courage so that you can face Ganondorf. In Twilight Princess, you collect the Fused Shadows, which is like this ancient weapon, but then there's this whole the whole famous cutscene of Twilight Princess where there's like talks about how like power corrupts and, you know, the dangers of collecting the Fused Shadows, and it kind of recontextualizes what you're doing. And Midna as a character, it's like, oh, okay, like maybe we're not doing the right thing, and then Midna develops and you decide that you need to collect the, you know, pieces of the Mirror of Twilight, so that you can stop Zant. And it's like all of these things, like, you know, I'd say maybe Twilight Princess is the best example because Midna is the character who grows in that story, while Link is the static one. But it's just something that recontextualizes the events of the story and what you've been doing, and, you know, creates new stakes for the story, right? And I know this is the issue a lot of people have with the modern Zelda games, is that, you know, the stakes never change, the context never changes. You're just given a quest, you go do the quest, and everything goes pretty much as you would predict it would happen. And I know this is like a massive rant, and we're taking forever on this one text box, but this is important to me, because this is like, I really think the next big step for Splatoon stories is having some midpoint. Just any kind of midpoint. It doesn't need to be some big dramatic abyss where it turns out like our characters were evil and terrible and they reflect on their actions. That would be really cool. I would like that, but you know, I know to maybe not expect that from Splatoon or from Nintendo, but just something in the middle. I just want something in the middle. And I do think Side Order, it kind of has, I don't know if it has the right idea, but I do actually like the way Smallest recontextualizes Order, right? Like, I do actually like that we have Order and then we have all this other stuff, but there just wasn't enough before that. I think we needed some kind of build up to that moment to make Order and grayscaling and the, you know, defeat of grayscaling feel earned. But for like the next mainline story, it's just annoying because the framework is always there, right? The framework is there. We have like the radio conversations with like Mr. Grizz and Octavio or whatever, and like the conversations with Tardar, and like in Octo Expansion for me it worked. Because again, not every story needs to follow the hero's journey. You don't need to have this specific moment where everything goes wrong. But I think the chat logs, you know, for me, you have this moment where like, okay, the characters all kind of grow because they learn more about each other's past. Like Pearl learns that Marina was an Octarian, and Cuttlefish, like, you know, comes to grow closer with Octolings, who he used to, you know, just only fight really for at least, you know, the past 100 years. And it's like that adds weight and meaning to the Blender scene, because now all of these characters actually care about each other, and we care about 8 because of the mem cakes, right? Like, we're given a reason, we're given context. All these things have more meaning. Like 8 and Cuttlefish dying in front of Pearl and Marina's eyes isn't just, oh no, the player character is in danger. It's like, oh my god, like these people are about to see their friends like killed by this machine. Like it adds weight to that scene, even if it's not some like deep, you know, character development. It adds a lot of meaning. And then you have that moment where 8 escapes from the blender, where they fight against Agent 3 and where they fight for their freedom on the surface, and it just has so much more impact because we've been given all of this stuff in the middle of the story. Yeah, Return of the Mammalians, I mean, yeah, Return of the Mammalians, this is not even a comparison because it just doesn't have anything. Its inciting event doesn't make sense. Its conclusion doesn't make sense. They're not even on their way to having, you know, context in the middle of the story. Yeah. And yeah, it is one of those things. It does make it rough seeing the concept art, because it's not like, oh, this stuff could have actually been implemented into the final game. It's just like, oh, like we could have had a Splatoon story that had a proper beginning, middle, and end, that had these character moments, that had this, you know, wait. And I just want that so badly. And it does scare me, because, or I don't know, scare is the right word. It's unfortunate. Like, I love Nintendo. I really, really love the way Nintendo designs games. I love the gameplay first approach. I love that they try to always innovate, and the elegance of the game design, and that you can tell a story through gameplay, I think is amazing. But I would just love to see a little bit more. You know, I'd love to see a little bit more put into the characters. I would really love to see, you know, the production value of the cutscenes has gotten so good by Splatoon 3, but it just doesn't feel like they've really told that great of a story with it. You know, I'd love to see like next gen graphics in a Splatoon game used to actually, you know, put some emotional depth into the narrative. Yeah. It is just frustrating because it's like it's different than something like Mario, because I love 3D Mario games, but I know that a 3D Mario game is gonna be about Mario and it's gonna be about level design, right? Like I know that I'm just gonna fight Bowser in the end, and I'm fine with that. But Splatoon, there's so much potential. There's this really, really interesting world with all of these characters, and I would just love to see them take it that one step further. Yeah, it's for sure the problem with Marina, which I could have talked about more in the video, but like Marina's development mostly happens off screen. She mostly develops between Splatoon 2 and 3, and she just kind of has, you know, become, you know, she has to take that one step. We see that one step of her actually confronting Order herself. And I'm really glad we got that moment, because that is more than we have gotten from pretty much any other Splatoon character. Like, I think a lot goes unspoken with 8. I think 8's, you know, climb to the surface is a really meaningful character moment. But it's all, you know, just visual, and it's all just like, if you read the context, if you invest in this character through the memcakes and the chat logs, that moment will mean something to you. But I would, you know, I like when it's explicit too. I would have liked Marina to have had more, you know, trepidation going into the story, maybe like defending the world of Order and her intentions, rather than just immediately going, yep, you know, Order saw a weakness in me, you know, change is good, we got to stop it. You know, like if there was just a little bit more pushback, and maybe we saw some of, you know, Pearl, that would have given Pearl more of a presence in the story, because she could have really had to actively, you know, encourage Marina in that moment. We see like a little bit of that, but it's never a thing where Marina disagrees. It's like Pearl says something to Marina's like, yeah, you're right. And we could have just had like a little bit more, because they do hint at tension. Like they say Pearl and Marina have fought before, you know, Pearl just like left at one point. So if we could have actually seen some of that, I think that would have been great and would have really added to it. But yeah. Anyway, I guess those were some thoughts I've had in my brain for a while. I didn't mean to go on a whole rant right in this specific moment, but yeah. For real? Yo, lead with that next time. I'm Pearl, and this is 8. Cool meeting you, Act. I've been in the area since I came to. I heard Marina's voice up the spire, so I came to find her. But those bony fish found me first. Okay, sorry, this is another just nitpick I have. Oct is like, I call them gelatins. It's like, okay, no, they're just called that. Like, Marina called them gelatins. I don't know why you know the name of them, but you didn't come up with that. So I don't know why that's written like that. That's just like a, you know, a minor thing. The spire's crammed gelatins. This wound they gave me hasn't healed, so I'm stuck. Yikes, things aren't looking super good for the home team, huh? Don't count us out yet. I've been waiting for an octoling with a drone. Said her name was 8. You're the one I needed to see. So I remember this line gave me pause the first time playing the game. I almost thought Oct was suspicious for a moment, but supposedly, I guess, they, you know, hacked into the elevator console, which is how they know stuff about the Spire, which is a little bit weird in its own, because it's like, in its own way, because like, why can you hack into the elevator specifically if it's a virtual world? Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of a video game logic moment. This is just some kind of tutorial stuff, so I'll just smash through here. I mean, we don't know how much was necessarily cut, Def Drip, like... Because this isn't a case of me saying, like, oh, they didn't do, you know... This story is what it is. I guess, like, I've accepted what Side Order is. There are things I wish were different, there are things I wish were explained better, but it is what it is. I'm talking more just about, like, the future. But yeah. I do think Splatoon is still trying to, yeah, figure its way out. Chris Mark, yeah, like... Because we've had some platforming, we've had some puzzling, we have some combat. I do feel like we're yet to kind of have like for me, Octo Expansion is definitely the perfect, not the perfect, but the closest thing to a perfect Splatoon campaign we have, because it has moments that are focused on combat. It has slower, more methodical moments. It has, you know, kind of the most ambitious, or at least most, like, you know, well executed story, but the most well realized story of any campaign. So it's for sure like the closest I think they've gotten to kind of figuring it out, like what Splatoon is meant to be. But yeah, I don't know, because now after these next two things, it seems like they're still experimenting, which is good, but I don't know. Whatever's going on in this city, Marina's in the thick of it, so I'm assuming. But this injury has left me sidelined. Our strike team will be limited to you two. We're on it, Oct. Deep breaths, 8. It's time to go find Marina. I need to drink some water. I'm like, my voice is dying from that whole rant. Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of organization. I think it's like the order the things appear. I don't really feel like Side Order has that much less story than most other Splatoon games. It's just the fact that you get so much of it kind of after the fact. Like, I feel like the dev diaries, in terms of like meaningful like lore, gave us about as much, if not more, than the chat logs. Couple that with the elevator dialogue, the smallest dialogue. Like, I feel like there's a lot of story there. It's just like, yeah, it's not constructed in, I think it's fair to say it's not constructed in the most satisfying way. And I do like get why some people like that ruined Side Order for them. Just the fact that you get all of like the lore like after the final boss, and like I think it's fair. For me, again, like the recontextualization of Order kind of works, but I still think it could have been done a lot better. I mean, having an elevator is not, you know, lots of video games do that. I think it's a very easy way to contextualize levels. I don't think Luigi's Mansion is the only thing that did that, but yeah. I would really love to see them try a sandbox type thing, but we'll see, we'll see. Side Order could have been ordered better, yes. Funnily enough. Yeah, I mean, this isn't really lore, it's just the elevator goes up one floor. So okay, I'll go in the first one. Yeah, I don't really know what's up with that dots. Honestly, I feel like it's just like they wanted to explain why Marina and Oct have to stay in the elevator. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. So I only want to go here just because these level backgrounds are actually unique. Obviously you see a lot of repeat memory cubes throughout the game, but yeah, it's interesting. In the tutorial specifically, you see lots of like childhood objects at the beginning, like obviously like these like toys. I know you see like food, like pancakes or whatever. Yeah, like kind of like wooden blocks and stuff. And then the higher up you go, it kind of, the things become, I think in the interview they said the idea was that as you go higher up, things become more orderly. In my initial playthrough, I just thought it was like they were becoming more like adult. Like I know they have like gloves and like a welder's mask and stuff. But yeah, it's just like they become more like serious and orderly, I guess, as you go up. Yeah, they already kind of explained it with Oct. What do I think about Smallisk? I mean, I pretty much said all my thoughts about Smallisk in my most recent video. I think it's okay. I don't love how like its dialogue is written, but I think in concept it makes sense and it kind of works. Also, yeah, the jellyfish we see. I don't know if these are related, but there's the polyps that then pop off and become jellyfish on the higher floors. But yeah, just to save us, so the idea was to save us a little bit of time, and then I ended up ranting for like 15 minutes, so I don't know how worthwhile this will be, but I actually have a different profile where I'm on like tutorial like 5 or 6 because nothing really happens for those first few. So we're just gonna skip ahead a little bit. I don't know how much worthwhile this is at this point, but might as well. What's better, side order, Octo expansion? I mean, for me, it's easily Octo expansion by like a million. I like side order a lot, but it doesn't come close. Yeah, so here we are. There's just like a little bit of story related dialogue. Yeah, I do like that the background objects give us like little bits of insight. This dialogue is just tutorials. Side order is the best DLC in Splatoon 3, yes. Yeah, I feel like most people would say Octo expansion. I know for some people the side order gameplay did really work, and they really genuinely liked it. Like, I like it, but it's not, you know, it's not at the top for me. So this is floor 5, and we still kind of have just mostly childish objects. I think they mixed in like a few other things, but yeah, we'll go ahead and sorry, I feel like the volume got loud for some reason. I'm turning it down a bit. Yeah, no, it's more of a fair comparison for sure than Return of the Vermilions. It lacks in unique scenarios. Yeah, I think that's a big thing for me, is just, I mean, I've said this like a million times at this point, but yeah, there needed to be more objectives, more floors, or both, for me to really like the gameplay, because it just gets a little too repetitive. I don't love some of the missions. Like, as time has gone on, I've realized I'm just really not much of a fan of the turbine tower mechanic, like, at all. It's just really slow and kind of, oh my god. Okay. That's kind of embarrassing that I just fell there. Do I really just have to sit here and wait for a thing to spawn? Did I just screw this up? Do they not respawn? Or did that spring probably just had to go away? Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could say I burned myself out, but I do think it is on the game. Like, the first time I started getting repeat floors, it kind of hit me, and I'm just kind of like, oh, I like already did this one, and now I'm doing it again. Like, I always forget it's color pulses, the level jingle for the tutorial. We're at about the halfway point. Cool, can't believe all this is going down in the middle of our big world tour. On tour, are you? That tracks. You're some kind of musician, I take it? Yeah, Marina and I are off the hook, the world's most powerful power team. Huh, so Marina hit it big as an artist, did she? Marina? Hang on, girl, we're on our way. I did not like the sound of that. Let's pick up the pace. Yeah, good call. Yeah. I think there's more like 40 floors. But that's still half of like that's my main thing is Octo expansion had 80 fully unique levels, technically 88 if you count the escape sequence. And Side Order only has 40 actual like unique different pieces of terrain, and then it just puts different objectives on top of that. So it totals out to like 100 or something, but it still feels like just straight up less content than Octo expansion. Especially because, again, there's only 5 objective types. So, I mean, that's, yeah, there's just a few things that are unfortunate about Side Order circumstances. Like, it, you know, it had Octo expansion to be compared to. It took way longer than Octo expansion to come out, so I think expectations were higher. The trailers were really vague, so we didn't really know what type of gameplay we were getting into. And then, yeah, it just somehow kind of ended up with less content. So, it's weird. I mean, again, there is a whole new, you know, bestiary of enemies, but as we've talked about before, a lot of them are functionally, you know, very similar to existing, you know, Octarians or things from multiplayer. So, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think the upgrades are too bad in terms of like feeling impactful. Some of them are definitely underwhelming, but I think the palette system works, you know, like, I don't know. I don't think the variety issues are mostly in terms of like play styles. For me, it's just like the actual challenges. That's my opinion on it, at least. We're on fire. Let's keep it moving. Don't stop till we hit the top. This might just be tutorial. Yeah, okay. Again, as is the case for the entirety of Side Order, sometimes they drop like really interesting lore and sometimes they just give you really basic tutorials. And unfortunately, it's hard to know until you start reading. I mean, I might make a video about this specifically. I really don't think the next campaign is going to use Side Order's gameplay. Also, yeah, we now have the, loading... I used to know what each of these were called, like the different forms of jellyfish. Although I don't think I noticed the eyes are on these forms. That's kind of funny. But yeah, what was I saying? Right, so I don't know. I've said this several times before, but the fact that the base game hero mode is always advertised as like a, you know, easy way for new players to learn the controls of the game, I don't think they would ever make it a roguelite, which is just kind of an inherently punishing and unforgiving style of gameplay. So it's possible the next Splatoon games like DLC or like a side mode could have roguelite gameplay, but I really, really definitely do not think the next story mode is going to be like Side Order. Yeah, they could have like the color chip system, maybe. That could be interesting. Can you try? I don't know. I might try Hades. I'm not that interested. Like, I don't know. Everyone says Hades is really good, and I would probably like it, but something about the style of gameplay from what I've seen of it just doesn't look really like my type of game. But maybe at some point. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I always feel like I have to clarify. Like, the story modes aren't tutorials in their entirety, but I think one role of the hero mode is to, you know, be a kind of a risk-free environment for new players to get used to the game. So I just don't see a roguelite being used for that. But I don't know. No sign of Marina on this floor either. Hope she's doing alright. She seemed a little burned out lately. Guess we still got a world tour to finish, but after that I promised her we could find a quiet spot together and take it easy for a while. So we gotta save her, fast. Sounds like Marina met the right people after she got free. This is Marina we're talking about, so I expected as much. Well, you know what they say, no one knows you like the folks you grew up with. Plus, Marina had to learn the language when she got to Greater Incopolis, so you gotta figure she struggled at least a little. I'd love to sit down and swap Marina stories, but this ain't the time. Every second we spend chewing the fat is a second we're not finding her. My favorite idol is, or favorite idol group is Off the Hook. Favorite individual idol is Tide, Pearl, and Callie. Please sit down and swap Marina stories. Yeah, that's what I was saying my first time. I think like a Bowser's Fury type thing is at least possible. I feel like Metroidvania. The issue with Metroidvania is just like kind of the same issue that Side Order had, where it's like, how do you make upgrades feel meaningful within, like, without it just being like taking stuff from Splatoon's multiplayer, or like taking away stuff and then giving it back, you know? like the glider, the Pearl Drone glider could be a Metroidvania upgrade for sure. But most of the movement, like most of the core movement of Splatoon, you know, you don't want to like just take things away. And I don't know how much you could add to it really without it feeling weird. I don't know, Pumpkin Jack. It's like, it's not just, I mean, that's what I talked about. I don't know if you've seen my most recent video, but I mean, yeah, it doesn't quite make sense. Doesn't explicitly need to be full of upgrades. I mean, I guess that, yeah, it could just be like a lock and key system where you go somewhere to do something and unlocks another part of the world. That's true. I don't know. I mean, I would like that for sure. So we're up pretty high now, huh? But we're racking up the color chips. Okay, it's just this. Is it still a good idea to buy Splatoon 2 plus Octo Expansion 2025 instead of Splatoon 3 plus Side Orbit? I'd say it depends what you want to get out of it. Like, if you want multiplayer, get Splatoon 3 because Splatoon 2 is not, from what I've heard in my little experience going back, it's like significantly less active than Splatoon 3. And the gameplay of Splatoon 3 and PvP, in my opinion, is just better. But Octo Expansion is like really great on its own. It's so hard because Octo Expansion is like my favorite game, and I always want to recommend it to people. But yeah, it's a hard sell saying get a full price game plus a $20 DLC. That's true. If you have the expansion pass for online, you do get Octo Expansion with that. So that's a factor to consider. Okay, the childlike stuff goes up higher than I remembered. We have a clock now. Multiple clocks, bowling pins. Interesting. Well, I guess you could play these 3 floors in any order. Boom. Oh boy. Am I overcomplicating this? Yes, I am. Never mind. Can this respawn? Okay, dude, please do not die in the tutorial level. Yeah, I mean, you could get like a used copy. Oh god. I mean, you are also getting Octo Canyon with Splatoon 2, which is, you know, still a good campaign. Yeah, I mean, that's always been my thing with making Splatoon bigger, is like, you don't move that fast in Splatoon. So if you do like a more open-ended level design, like, you would need either like some kind of power-up that makes you go fast, or like a vehicle. You would need something other than just shooting and swimming, because that would feel too slow. But then you'd have to make that also work with the platforming. You basically need Plessy. And I don't know what that would look like in Splatoon. Horses, well, not quite. I think they are dead. I mean, I'd love if we just had like a bike or like a motorcycle, low key, but I don't know. I feel like that's not weird enough for Splatoon. I feel like they would have us ride some like weird creature. Not Huge Fry, please, not Huge Fry. Master Mega could work. That would almost feel a little too much like Plessy, I feel like, though. I don't know. Heads up, we're coming to the top floor. Where we'll find Marina, right? Probably. Something about it seems different from the floors up till now. 8, Pearl, watch yourselves. Oh, it's this 8. Are they worried about us? Is something funny? Nah, you just sound like Marina when you say that. But enough messing around, let's go find Marina. No holding back, 8, this is it. Big man like a magic carpet. I like that answer. riding a horrorboars. I always, for some reason, really liked the imagery of like riding on the great zapfish. I don't know like why we would do that or how that would work exactly, but yeah. So yeah. Do we have any other things? Oh, I meant to show some other stuff. Hang on. Well, I guess because I was about to talk about the memory cubes. I have this another quote from the interview. So these ones are specifically Marina's memories because this is obviously the Marina room. But yeah, the, like on-air thing, microphone, and there's like a pearl crown. There's the TV from Splatoon 2. There's the chair, Pearl's chair anyway. But yeah, it is interesting. The way it just like goes. The light is really cool too. Also, this like machine, I want to like look more at like the actual thing controlling Marina, because like, what is this? Like, there's like stage lights. I don't think I actually noticed those before. Yeah, it's weird. Like, is all of this just Order's creation? I'm not sure. Anyway, sorry. Let me. I meant to read this earlier, so let's check it out. There are various backgrounds for the stages, including factory-like spaces, as well as areas used in the Octo expansion testing facilities. But are the objects in the background, like the pancakes in the picture book, based on Marina's childhood memories? Annoy. Yes, in the background of the floors, you can see cubes holding various memorabilia, which were extracted from the memories of Marina and other Octarians. The Tower of Order, should be Spire of Order, serves as a factory where memory cubes are produced, grayscaled, and eventually incinerated. The snow-like substance that is falling onto the City of Order is incinerated ash from the tower. It looks beautiful, but in actuality is quite scary. So yeah, it does seem like, I mean, there they kind of imply that a lot of the memories are Marina's. Again, that's a translation, so I don't know if there's a bit more nuance there that we're missing, but yeah. Like, I think most of the other ones we saw were more like the sanitized Octarians, and then these are specifically Marina's. But I guess it's possible that some of the other ones are also Marina's. I mean, that's actually just an Octotrooper. That's interesting to have that on the Marina floor. It's the, just an Octotrooper, like, machine. Yeah, I'm kind of not actually entirely sure why Marina's memories are here. I mean, that's the kind of weird thing. With like Order and everything is like, you know, what we learn about in the dev diaries is that Marina was able to somehow turn memcakes into data and upload them to the Memverse. But then with Order, we learn that, well, actually, hang on, I have the quote. I have the quote right here, so let's read it. The memcakes taken into the Memverse, the thoughts of the Octoling engineers involved in its development, and Marina's subconscious as a catalyst led to the creation of Order. So, like, it seems like it isn't just the memcakes, but also just, like, the thoughts of the Octolings somehow got mixed into the Memverse. Like, that's what Marina said, is like, the desires got mixed into the Memverse. And that led to Order. So we don't really know why that happens. My, like, kind of headcanon explanation, I guess, is just that, like, the Memverse is just kind of like a space that naturally allows subconscious thoughts and memories to manifest into objects, which is, like, obviously what we see with the memory cubes. Because Marina talks about, like, reverting the memcakes into their, like, natural form. So somehow she, like, reduces it from, like, because memcakes are memories compressed into physical form, so somehow she, like, essentially uncompresses them. She mixes them up and turns them into just, like, pure organic memory. Again, this is kind of like headcanon. Like, we don't really have a great explanation for this 100%. But my, like, understanding is that it's, like, she converts them into just, like, raw memories. and then she made the memverse to exist as a space that turns those like raw memories into these like tangible objects, but it also turns them into color chips, which is kind of weird. But yeah, like by that logic, I guess her own memories being, you know, brought into the memverse by her connecting to the memverse, and the memverse developers doing the same, then manifested into order. But yeah. She uses WinRAR on them. Yeah, something like that. I didn't even actually... That's actually a good point. Compressing... Yeah, she unzips them, basically. That actually kind of makes sense. I don't know if that's... I don't think that's really the implication, but yeah, because they do use the word compressing, but that's like a physical act, not a digital thing, so... yeah. I don't know exactly. Well, because Order right now is like in Marina, or like it's like not fully, I don't know. I mean, Order took over Marina because it wanted control of the Spire. Like when we free Marina, she's actively working against Order, and if we didn't do that, then Order would just have full control, and we probably wouldn't have been able to stop it. Yeah, I don't know if kidnapped, I mean, she's whatever this is. She was trapped and her mind was taken over, but she was always here. She was always supposed to be on the top floor. Yeah, no, the pallets were supposed to exist. The people's, it wasn't supposed to exist, like, the pallets weren't supposed to happen the way they did happen, but Marina talks about pallets in the dev diary. Like, she did design it as a way for people to get their memories back. It just wasn't supposed to be that people's pallets would be in the memverse without the person also being there. I mean, I think the Octarian engineers are interesting. I definitely wish we got more on them. But I don't know. For me, they add to the story because of what it implies about the Octarian world as a whole. I think if it was just Marina, the story would feel a lot smaller in scope. And that wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, but I personally like them. Yeah, I wish they, like, showed up in some form, or we got a bit more about them, but I like them existing. Anyway, let's go ahead and start. Is that? No way. Marina. Hey, Rena. Yo, could she even hear me? Guess not. She's all tangled up in that weird machine. Intruders confirmed. Commence grayscaling. Also, yeah, the thing she has on her head is like a virtual boy. Ready to rocket? Also, banger incoming. See, I guess the thing she's stuck in is kind of just like a preliminary version of Order, and that's kind of why it looks like a tentacle. Because Order eventually, you know, becomes an octopus, obviously. Also, Marina, sorry, Marina is trying to grayscale us right now, at least based on the dialogue, which is kind of interesting. Also, if you die in this scene, because I was testing this, like, the other day, because this is what I do with my time. If you die on this fight, I just thought this is kind of interesting. She then says, restarting grayscaling process. So this is a canon death and respawn. But it's interesting that getting splatted interrupts grayscaling. Like, I guess that makes sense. But I don't know, the little tidbit that you guys probably haven't seen. But yeah, it's interesting, like, there's no, like, visual indication of us being grayscaled right now. So it's like, I don't know if that's just dialogue to make, you know, her sound more intimidating, or if it's just because it's the introduction to grayscaling, but, like, you know, there's not really a clear demonstration of her actually trying to grayscale us, but supposedly she says she is trying to. Yeah, I don't know what happened. You know what? Screw it. Wait, I hope it doesn't make me do the whole tutorial again, though. I don't know if I want to risk, Oh, Marina, what happened to you? Wait, do we get different dialogue? Hold on, I'm gonna die again. I'm gonna die at least one more time because I didn't know we get different dialogue. That's actually kind of interesting that we get that Octoline. It doesn't make you restart? Okay, we can try it then. I guess that would be pretty harsh. Remember, we're not leaving until Marina's safe. Oh wait, I wanted to try and click on the elevator. Alright, this is what we're doing. We're just myth-busting this whole fight. Okay. Oh, so if you run out of... I mean, obviously, it'd be pretty ridiculous to die, like, game over 62 times on this fight. Low-key wonder what happens if you do, though. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, we actually, oh, you just can't click on it. Okay. Suppressive... I think the suppressive decoys are the, super chumps. Because they're called, like, decoy flyers in Japanese. Oh, interesting. It restarts the song, but it saves our progress. Huh. There's no other Splatoon boss that does that, I think. Not, it's not that big a deal, but... also, yeah, Marina does, like, dance, by the way. She has, a lot of different animations while she's up there. Let's see if we can see some of them. It'd be worth testing to document on the wiki. I mean, be my guest if you want to jump off a cliff 180 times. Don't personally think I'll do that on stream right now. So is Order a good person or a bad person? Well, Order isn't really a person. It's like a piece of multiple people's subconscious. And I would say it's misguided. Also, these attacks are all like on the beat of the music, which is really cool. It's especially noticeable with the super jumps. I don't know if she does those until we've destroyed another portal. I don't think there's anything about destroying pallets. I don't think that's ever cited as a specific part of grayscaling. Also, yeah, her tentacle ink color is just black, like the gelatins, which makes sense, but nice attention to detail. I mean, yo, her hair is brown, but the part that would normally be colored is just black. Well, actually, because, I mean, there's also the way to replay the fight. I don't know if you have membucks in that, because it's like a different kind of, what do you call it, like scenario, technically. Been overlorded 292 times. Wow, that seems like a lot. Bye, Natalie. Thanks for stopping by. Hanging out. But yeah, don't think I have much else to say about this fight, which is good because it's over. But yeah, then Marina gets small conveniently. I mentioned the weird thing with her being big earlier, but yeah. Is that 8 and Pearl? But yeah, I do kind of wish we got to fight Order in like this, like smoky form, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna try reading all this. I played it like 70 times in my most recent video, and it moves very fast. But yeah, all things will be converted to memory. That one robot? Oh, like Monita? I guess the face is a little similar. Do. if Marina can change size, does that mean Marina and Huge Fry are related? That is maybe the, like, worst line of logic I've seen in a while. I was gonna say ever, but no, there have been worse. Well, no, I originally thought Marina was the one being grayscaled in that scene, but I don't think that's the case. Because Marina is... That's the weird thing about Marina, right? Is that she's being, like, controlled. Like, no other character... Order isn't trying to control people, necessarily. There is a line coming up that kind of confuses that a little bit, but yeah. If there's another line that's like... Marina says, like, you know, grayscaling intruders or whatever. Like, it's Order speaking through Marina. It's not Order talking about Marina. So it's definitely, it's trying to grayscale 8 and Pearl, not Marina. But yeah. 8, please be okay. That's still so cute. I love this. Oh, thank goodness. Pearl, oh, thank goodness, Pearl 8's woken up. And of course, they just reuse this cutscene at the end, which I wish they didn't do that. It's kind of awkward. They've done that with every hero mode. Octo Expansion is the only thing that doesn't do it, actually, where they reuse the intro cutscene for the, like, post-game cutscene. They make it work, but it does feel a little cheap. I'm honestly not a fan. Pearl is floating in the scene. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some weird camera work going on. 8, thank you so much for freeing me. Surprised to see me in the flesh? Marina works some magic and bam, I'm back, baby. I'm really, really sorry. It was the Dramatic Days in Orderland module that stuck you in drone form, and did all the other stuff too. By the way, I think there's this whole, like, weird running bit throughout the dev diaries where Marina is like, project members, name not final. Like, project members, working title. And then at the end, she's like, oh, I came up with a really cool name for it, Dramatic Days in Orderland. And just everyone is just like, yeah, we're not fucking calling it that. Like, just no one ever calls it that again. It's just the members. Like, I don't really know what the point of all that was, but I find it funny. Say what? Dramatic Days in... Also, yes, Yuri wallpaper. This is the members. It's a prototype VR. That is a virtual reality that I made. Your virtual reality? Hold up, you saying we've been in a fake place this whole time? So yeah, okay, I noticed you actually see, like, the collision, like the ground collision there. That's cool. I think that's what that's supposed to be anyway. But yeah, I do like that it's this, like, Unity. I don't know if it's meant to be Unity or Unreal. One of, you know, one of those. But yeah. That's right, the only real things in the members are our minds. So again, very confusing minds versus souls. They use them pretty much interchangeably, but it kind of feels like that shouldn't be the case. But also memories are apparently contained in the soul, so maybe that does make sense? I don't know. It's probably not actual dev footage. It looks... I don't know. Like, maybe there's some, you know, genuine stuff to that. I know when they show the dev diary about sanitization, they show the models for the female and male Agent 8, and I'm pretty sure that's just their actual, like, wireframe. So that's, like, kind of actual dev material. But yeah. That fuzzy cloud we met was Order. It took control of me and caused the whole members to go haywire. It's forcibly connected who knows how many people to the members. Their minds are all here now. Oh, there were jellyfish connected. For some reason, I thought this only ever showed inkfish. Okay, interesting. I didn't know that jellyfish actually got sucked in too. You don't need to spam Pumpkin Jack. I can see your message. What if Marina was the bad guy? I mean, that's what I think is kind of interesting, is that Marina, like Order is basically a part of Marina. So, she kind of is. Well, I mean, but that's the thing, Octowave, is that in this campaign, we learn that souls are very much like a tangible part of their biology. Like, and us, I mean, you know, when they get splatted, we literally see a soul fly out of them. Like, it might be incorporeal, but it's still, it's not like, you know, metaphorical. Like, it's a real thing. So, yeah. Also, yeah, the jellyfish are kind of hive mind, so I wonder how that does work with pulling in. Oh, I guess the ones that are pulled in just wouldn't do what the other jellyfish do. In that case, there's at least 2. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think these are mostly just like, you know, random player customization. Don't think there's too much to see here. Isn't there, is that Oct? Hang on. Yeah, Oct appears there. Oh, wait, was that Neo 3? Is that why those are separate? Hang on. Is that Neo 3 off to the side? I mean, obviously it might not actually change based on your customization. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to... Shoot. Oh my god, okay. I can't tell for sure, but there's a picture next to Oct that is like the box art. I'm not trim. No. Oh my god, sorry. This is so annoying. I'm trying to... I wanna see this. Dude. It keeps doing the, like, glitch effect right where I want to pause it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, well, that's not very helpful. All that work to not really be able to see, but I'm gonna consider that to be Neo 3, because it looks like an Inkling, and it's separated from the other ones for some reason. So that's what I'm gonna roll with. I don't know if we know that for sure. Well, I don't think it would be 4, because 4 isn't in the Memverse. Well, I guess their soul is. No, you're right. They do get pulled in the Memverse. I guess it could be 4 too, but it didn't look like it had the hair looked more like Neo 3 to me, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I do think Marine and Oct should have had... I can excuse it a little bit because I feel like they, like, you know, supposedly interacted with each other off screen while 8 was unconscious, but yeah, I definitely wish we got to see more of that. I like the order logo appearing on the computer. Yeah, opens Clip Studio Paint. Order is using what it calls grayscaling to neutralize the will of everyone that's trapped here. And who goes through grayscaling will slowly start to lose their will in actual reality too. Nor's just getting started. It plans to keep pulling people into the Memverse. If we don't stop it, people all over the world will lose their wills. So I wonder if it's just a thing that it, like, takes time? Like, if its influence is, like, slowly expanding outward from Megapolis Square? Because I was talking about, like, what the range of grayscaling is earlier. So maybe what it does during the final battle is it's just, like... I described it in my video as a massive grayscale attack. So maybe it just, like, charges up, like, some kind of power or whatever, and then, like, unleashes grayscale blast, and then it, like, expands? I don't know. Yo, that sounds bad. Ding 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 ding. Do 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 do. Okay. Yeah, I mean they get pulled in through their CQ phones, but like based on the news segment at the start of the game, only people in the square seem to be affected, and not people in Splatsville. So I don't know. To me, it makes sense that it just, like, takes time for, like, the influence to spread, but I don't really know why it would. So, I don't know. Well, yeah, you'd think it would be as fast as the internet is the thing. But yeah. Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier. So you can actually see, some smokestacks on the side of the tower there, where you can actually see the incinerated ash coming out. So it doesn't quite make sense before the tower transforms that there is the ash everywhere, but yeah, at least now it... Oh, I guess there's also some right there. A bit more obvious. But yeah. There we go. How long has it been? 2 hours. Okay, that works. Thankfully, it shouldn't take that run. It shouldn't take too long to do like the actual run of the game. I don't know if I'm gonna get in 2 runs today. We'll see. I don't have to do that on stream, actually. I only really want to do 2 runs because full disclosure, I was trying to put together a video of like all of the smallest related dialogue, just like so people had it as a reference, and I messed up the audio on like the first post-game order fight, so I needed to get new footage of that. But I don't have to do that on stream, so we can just do that later. Oh, I've actually seen that, Undead. You're right. Yeah, I just wanted to see if I could quickly pull it up on stream. But yeah, maybe I'll check that out in my own time. Order jacked up the threat level in the Spire. Spire's taller. You kicked out of the Spire. Enemies hurt more. I'm like, this is mostly tutorial, but I'm skimming for any lore. I built the members to begin with. I don't have to take this sitting down. Now that I'm outside the Spire, I can hack the system, override the changes, and lower the difficulty. Well, you can do all that. Glad to have you back on our side. Thing is, I'll need pearls to get any hacking done. So, is there a good lore explanation of pearls? I don't know if there is. It's kind of just a gameplay mechanic. I don't know why she needs a resource to hack. But yeah. Okay, we're gonna go for max lives. I know in my initial playthrough I like to go on 1 life, but probably our best bet of actually surviving. Palette. One of those things color chips go into? Didn't know you had your own. Setting this palette to your drone, I mean Pearl will use a new weapon. Did some research and this doesn't seem to be the only other palette in the Memverse. My early scans of those lockers over there show signs of other palettes. Keys, okay. Okay, she doesn't talk about souls yet. Hello, Space Boy. I'm not gonna bother like reading all this stuff. There's really not much noteworthy, like, lore or whatever. They have little, like, conversations. Pretty much the only thing is, like, there's this running bit of, like, Pearl always runs out of ink really fast, and Marina makes fun of her for it. That's, like, kind of the only thing that happens there. There isn't really, like, lore. Ooh, forgot about this, pre-collecting the first dev diary icon. It's not that notable, but kind of neat. Damage reduction. Actually, I don't know if that's worth doing until we can do a lot of it. Oh well. I don't really know what's worth going for here. I might just save up. I mean, save up. I'm probably not gonna complete more than 1 run today. I might die considering I'm hackless right now. there's a very decent chance I don't make it up the first time. Also, I might not want to make it up the first time because we want to see all of the phase 1 dialogue that we can. So we'll see. Hey, what's this? Yo, Marina, it's your diary. Shouldn't you keep this under lock and key? Wait, I guess you kind of did. Oh, well, maybe it's for the best. It's a little embarrassing, but if you two want to read it, feel free. You sure, Marina? I'm gonna leave this with you 8. If you want to read it, you can do that from the menu. Okay. Oh yeah, Pearl isn't Pearl, in Japanese. I never thought about that. That's an interesting choice then to use that. Well, I feel like Membucks were Marina's creation, but Pearls are like something else. Because she shouldn't, it wouldn't be hacks. I don't know. Got Agent 4's palette. What in the world? This is Agent 4 palette. This is Agent 4's palette. Oh yeah, Agent 4? Who is that again? See, this line is really funny to me. Because I don't care that much about Agent 4, but I know how much some people do, and I'm sure this line hit like a truck. My condolences. One of the new Squidbeak Splatoon members that Captain Cuttlefish introduced us to. Oh yeah, the one who was supposed to be such a big shot. What's Agent 4's palette doing here? Oh, palettes are actually a representation of part of someone's soul. Okay, so... I do think souls are interesting, and I like the overall explanation. But it is rough that it's like, we have like an abstraction of an abstraction. It's not the whole soul, it's only part of someone's soul, and it's not actually part of the soul, it's a representation of part of someone's soul in the members. So it's a little bit confusing, but okay. I guess Order somehow pulled a part of Agent 4's soul into the members, turning it into a palette. What, for real? Man, we better keep this with us when anything happening to it. Still getting signals from the other pallets in the lockers. Let's keep opening them as we find keys. So yeah, like, what do you mean part of a soul? Like, did they kill someone with Avada Kedavra? Like, why are there parts of souls? Like, I don't know what's up with that. I'm just, yeah. Not one of the new members, one of the members of the new Squidbeak Splatoon. Reasonable, you know, misunderstanding. The 7 Inkling Souls, yeah. Yeah, I guess not really anything else to do but go in. Move to... What would Splatoon 3 be like if Team Order won? I mean, that's kind of the point of this DLC, I think. Even the foyer looks different now. There's a bunch more stuff in here. May as well practice on it before going up the spire. Oh, did Marie say something about palettes? Yeah, okay. I'm reading tutorials. So yeah, obviously this is where the light effects get really cool. I don't think they would have made a villain called Chaos. I don't know. I'm still a little iffy. I wish Order wasn't called Order, if I'm being completely honest. I don't really like that as a name. It's a little... eh. How do you get over there again? Oh, I guess you can bounce. I don't know if that's the intended way. It seems weird. Oh, no, you can just glide. But yeah, little... Who is that one supposed to be? I know these are the different, like, idols. I forget. I'm not sure what... They're a little abstract. Not entirely sure. Chaos like from Skylanders. Yeah, can you... Oh yeah, there's a marina... Oh, there's all the art is back here, yeah, but you die. Dying in the foyer is a cannon respawn. A Splatoon Order versus Sonic Chaos. Oh, there we go. That one's Marie, I think? Oh, okay. Never mind then. I really love this song too. Like, I like the post-game foyer a lot, but this is one thing for sure that I wish persisted at least more than just a single run. Because it's so cool. And I feel like it works a lot better having like the lead up to the elevator be really intense. Because it's like, yeah, like you're about to go do a run. I don't know. I think the atmosphere here works a lot better. That one, okay, I don't know. I literally can't tell who is who. Oh, they changed. Oh, okay, they changed in the post game. That makes sense. I feel like the volume here is... I don't know if the game's volume is inconsistent or if it just seems like that to me. But yeah, I love these effects. I know in my initial playthrough I did just stand around and look at these, but man, they're very cool. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I guess probably my best chance of winning is with the shooter, so. So, I mean, I'd love to go through and, like, die on purpose a bunch of times so that we can see all of the Phase 1 dialogue, but I think realistically that's just, you know, I can't just do this forever. And you only get a few lines every time you climb, and it's randomized, and you can get repeats, so... we'll see what happens. Again, I might just die because I'm just bad, and I don't have most of the hacks equipped. But yeah, let's see. What do I have other things to show? One thing, there's some gelatin concept art that's pretty cool. Okay, well, listen, the going might be tough ahead, but if we don't give up, I know we can make it. You know it. Let's get this party started. Don't worry about me. I'm in this to the end. Hey, the palette's all empty. Yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Lock in. I will try. Let's see here. Oh shoot, did I delete? Okay, I'm gonna have to resize this because I think I deleted the, well, no, can I do this? Here we go. Yeah, so it's, like I said, there isn't like a super clean scan of the art book, which you can tell by the giant shadow in the middle, but I did want to show some more concept art. There's lots of interesting stuff for the gelatins. Where they appeared more like kind of like skeletal. Yeah, like here. You see the mouse, right? I think you see the mouse when I'm tabbed in. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff, the portals had some interesting different designs that are very different from how they appeared. Seeing like all the different pieces is cool. I feel like there was some cool stuff. Oh, I like this weird turtle design for those guys. Here, okay, yeah, here's, so there's some, I forgot about this one where they just have like feet. Okay, that's strange. Let me zoom in a little bit on this. But yeah, the like weird purple thing. I like that they look like more plasticky in the final version, but I do like the creepy ones a lot for sure. What is going on here? It's like the Maya, like, three-dimensional axis was going to be worked into the design? That's interesting. That's, I don't know if that really comes through in the final design, which might be why this one was scrapped, but, interesting. I like this, where it's like almost like a splat bomb turned into a fish. Wait, can you see that? Yeah. Oh yeah, oh, this weird like marina skeleton mask design. I don't know what this was ever going to be, but this one's really interesting. The one on like a bike. I do like the creepier look for them for sure. Wait, oh my god, I never even noticed this. Why does she have like a top hat and a cane? Was this going to be some weird like villain marina with like, why is she dapper? Like, that's a really interesting design direction. Huh. I didn't even notice that looking through the book before. Interesting. I can show some boss concepts as we fight them maybe, but we'll leave it there for now. But yeah, I just wanted to show some of those. Okay. Yeah, it could. I mean, I imagine there was probably a point where they were considering having Marina, like, you know, be the villain, or be more involved before instead of just being like the first boss. Yeah, it could have been just when she was being taken over. Yeah, there's some cool parallel canon stuff for sure. Yeah, no, I like Marina villain. I mean, Unless they went like all in with it. Like I'm definitely glad like mind-controlled Marina was not the final boss. If they actually made like, you know, her up, I just can't imagine a world in which she would like be opposed to 8 and Pearl is the thing. Like I don't think anything is more important to her than those people. Oh my god, sorry. I was trying to adjust the volume and I made it really loud for a second. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. My bad. Sorry. The volume is so stupid on, like, I don't know if there's a better thing I can use. It's just like the Elgato sound capture app, and the audio slider is like a dial, except it's not a dial because it's on a computer, so you move it with a mouse. So sometimes I try and move it like just a little bit to the right, and it's like, oh sorry, did you mean to move your mouse to the complete bottom right of the dial and turn it up all the way? And like, no, that's not what I meant to do. I don't know why it's not just like a bar. Anyway, I was kind of sleepy. Okay, I'm sorry. They could have made a whole 30-floor run just to get to Marina? Maybe. My ideal version of side order, I think, would just be like, we confront order every time, but every time Marina has like a different speech, right? Where it's like it takes like some effort to try reasoning with order. And she isn't immediately like on board with destroying order. Maybe she's like, you know, she's like, oh, maybe we don't have to destroy order, because it's like, maybe she's like feels protective over the members, and it's like, maybe we can just reason with order, and then it keeps just being like, no, you know, I want to destroy you, we have to fight. And then, you know, by the like 5th run or whatever, that's when she has her whole speech about like, you know, accepting change and realizing that like, you know, order has to be destroyed. And then that's when we get the extra phase with like the grayscaling and Spectrum Obligato. And then it would make that moment feel more earned, and it would also make Smallest feel more earned, because we were trying to actually make order, you know, like docile and not just trying to like blow up order the whole time. So I feel like that would work a lot better, and it would give Marina more of an arc. So that's what I would have liked. I don't think it should have to be all palettes for the true ending, just like 5, just 5 or 6, I think would have been good. That almost did all of them. Oh. Okay. I've not done this floor in a while. I feel like this is taking embarrassingly long. There we go. Yeah, I don't really think increasing the floor count would have helped that much, because that would have just made the repetition feel even worse. I 30 like is a good amount, I think. Feel like it feels good to do a run. Palette specific levels would have been nice. I would have definitely appreciated that. The spinny things don't always respawn. It depends. Also, sorry, I guess I should be looking at these backgrounds some. I mean, this is an interesting... It's weird because sometimes you see mem cakes in the Memverse, and I don't really understand that, because I thought the point was that the mem cakes were destroyed to turn them into memories that then manifest as digital objects. So it's weird to me that sometimes you see mem cakes in the Memverse. It's like, is that a memory of a mem cake? It shouldn't be. I mean, I guess it could be. But that's weird. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have gripes about the gameplay. I guess we talked a whole lot about gameplay on the Return of the Mammalian stream, but my thoughts are much less unique and passionate when it comes to side order. I'm just like, yeah, there should have been some more stuff. Would have been cool, but I don't have that many things to say that haven't been said already. Fish models that swim in the air are the same ones in Animal Crossing. I think I heard that somewhere before. But yeah. Is it like an SD card? No, that's not what that is at all. Yeah, there are some interesting... I like that there's like an old computer there. Because like, you know... I mean, that's interesting, right? Because like a lot of Splatoon tech is kind of like, you know, along the same timeline as real life, like relative for like the Mollusk era. You know, they have like smartphones and stuff. But the Octarians have kind of always been in their weird, you know, their own sphere where they like repurpose human tech and have lots of stuff that's kind of more futuristic. So it's interesting that an Octling would have a memory of like a, you know, real life like 90s type computer. But yeah. Yeah. I know some people mentioned too, like, I think it was Raska's in their side order video, they mentioned like it would have been cool when you clear a pallet, like, you know, you just get like some dialogue from Smollusk and it doesn't really ever amount to anything. It's just like, wah, I want order. This character is not order. It would have been cool if you actually got like something about or from that character. Like, I feel like they could have leaned more into the palettes actually like coming from the specific character. They don't really do much with that besides like, this character would use this weapon. Which would have been nice. This is just a tutorial. Yeah, it's funny, they ported the model to a different game and just removed the texture. Peak asset reuse. Guess I'll do this now. Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to get, you know, a second piece of characterization for Agent 4. I think we could deal with that while them still being a blank slate for the people who want them to be. Hope they bring back Smollusk as like a little Tamagotchi. That'd be cute, that'd be fun. I don't really know what they would do like narratively with Smollusk, but I like the idea of, yeah, Marina just having like a little thing to talk to them. Ah. Oh my god. I already have a drone splat bomb. If I can get more drone splat bombs, I'll go with this. That would have been funny. Yeah, well, I guess Smollusk says that it watches the VODs of their performances. So, maybe it could have seen Grandfest. Yeah, being on the computer would have been cool. But yeah, I guess they just show it, the performances to it after the fact. Wait, do the little things on the screen actually align with the object in the thing? No, it's always just a rectangle. Okay, that's unfortunate. Where are the enemies, by the way? Okay. I feel like I was surprised how long the game was letting me just stare at that. Okay, okay, and then it all comes crashing down. Okay, okay. Hey. Hey. Okay, I gotta get rid of you guys, because you're going angry mode. Okay. I mean, this is, well, it definitely was at the start. Look, you can make fun of me all you want in my no hack attempts, but I think me sticking with one life throughout, you know, the first 3 days of streaming it or whatever is a significant, you know, nerf to myself. I think a lot of people are like, oh, I beat it in like the first day it came out, but like a lot of people had an extra life, and that goes a long way. That's all I'm saying. This is a tutorial. Okay. They could have had Agent 8 or Agent 4 in the Grand Festival, but it might be worth it to this. Yeah, because if you have 2 lives, it's really more than 2 lives because you're gonna buy it back from a vending machine. So like even just having 1 extra life is like playing a whole different game. Oh, these are not very good. I should have gone with range. These are kind of awful. I actually don't think I want any of these. I'll get special charge just for the hell of it, but there's really nothing there. I mean, I think the Agent 4 thing is like, you know, I still think it's a little overblown how like weird it is that they aren't here. It's like blank slate character from the past game, like, and both the story modes have a different main character. Like I don't know what people want them to do with Agent 4, I guess. It's kind of where I'm coming from with it. Like, if they were here, they would be an NPC that probably wouldn't have dialogue. Is that really, like, so much of a difference to them not being here? I don't know. Like, I'm a big fan of the OG Agent 3, and they have a cutscene. They have a whole cutscene to Return of the Mammalians, and I still feel like they don't really have any content in this game. So I just don't really know what Agent 4 fans are looking for. Okay, boss, nice. Also, I know, when I first played the game, I thought it was weird that Marina made a boss, but I guess I didn't have the context yet of what the Memverse was for, so I guess it kind of makes sense that they existed. Also, there is lore for the bosses. I don't care that much about it. It's kind of weird. I don't know. It's like they all had an intentional purpose, and they were like corrupted by order, but the intentional purpose was like kind of weird too anyway, so I don't know. I'm not gonna go into that. I just think if people are setting their expectations based on one example, that might be on them. Like, I don't feel like that was setting a precedent. I feel like that was the exception. Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to at least get, like, something in an interview talking about them. But I just feel like the way people talk about them, like it's some, like, crucial part of the game's lore that Nintendo isn't addressing. Like, once again, I would personally point to the bear and the magic fish before the, you know, non-existence of the teenager that didn't have any characterization. Maybe they just went to school. I don't know. Yeah, I just think you had a lot more to do with Agent 3. And again, even in Octo Expansion, like, you know, I'm not gonna pretend, like I definitely have my own headcanon version of Agent 3 that is way more interesting and, like, cool and edgy than, like, the actual depiction of Agent 3 in the games. Like, Agent 3 doesn't have a whole lot going for them either, but, you know, it's like, okay, you have, like, yeah, you're bringing back the OG character from Splatoon 1, you're allowing the player to fight an Inkling while playing as an Octoling, which obviously is like kind of a novel thing. You have, you know, the whole like fighting a sanitized character that you used to play as, having a Splatoon remix. I died. I don't know. I feel like they got a lot out of putting Agent 3 in there that you just wouldn't really get out of putting Agent 4 there without just retreading the exact same ground, right? It's like Agent 4 shows up and incoming riff starts playing. It's like, okay, that's not going to feel as cool the second time, right? That's just going to be like, okay, I guess that's just what we do now when a character returns. Like, it just wouldn't hit the same way. Racing them through levels would be cool. I just think it's a thing, though, of, like, that's like what you would do in a Sonic game. But I just think the Splatoon devs just, you know, if they think, oh, we need to, like, we have a level where there's a time limit, I don't feel like they feel the need to, like, oh, we have to contextualize this as a character racing you. They're just gonna be like, oh, we're just gonna put a timer at the top of the screen. And, you know, it would be cool to race Agent 4, but I just don't know if they would, like, bother. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think this is mostly just like tutorial. I don't know. I just I get the fandom appeal. Well, no, I don't. I actually really don't at all. For me, it's like I can get a lot. I put it in the thumbnail of the side order video. I can get a lot out of a little, right? I can take Agent 3 looking badass in one cutscene and write this whole, like, you know, edgy personality for them and the way they interact with 8 and, like, ship them with 8 and, like, you know, have all this other stuff going on. But for me with Agent 4, it's not that there's a little, it's that there is, like, basically nothing. there is so little that I don't even feel like there's anything to work with. There's, like, basically just a justification for, like, why they exist in the universe of Splatoon. They're a teenager, they go to school, like, that's it. Like, it's so little that I don't even know how you build upon that. I think Neo 3 has more going for them than 4. Because Neo 3 is a scavenger. They just, like, live out in the Splatlands. They have small fry. Like, that's more than Agent 4. It's not a lot, but it's more than Agent 4. They're not roommates with 8. That's not confirmed. There's just a piece of art of them sitting next to 8. Even that is not. And there's this whole thing where people are like, oh, Agent 4 is like the smartest agent. It's like, no, they just go to school. That doesn't mean they're smarter. Like, it shouldn't be a thing that annoys me. But it's just the case of, like, I just don't get it, and it's a thing that's just so ever present in the community. I don't know. I'm not an Agent 4 hater. If you like Agent 4, you know, all the power to you. I don't get it. The only thing that was ever said about Agent 4 is that they didn't know who the Squid Sisters were, because they didn't watch a lot of TV, because they were busy with extracurriculars. But extracurriculars don't have to be scholarly. That can be a sport. That can be a club of any kind. Like, it's also, I know Rassicus made a post about it. It's like, in America, a person who does, like, a bunch of extracurriculars is, like, someone who's, like, really involved and, like, you know, puts a lot of effort into, like, school and stuff. But in Japan, that's just kind of, like, expected. Like, that's just, like, normal. That doesn't, it doesn't mean they're, like, scholarly or smart, or, it doesn't have to not mean that. Like, if you want to headcanon that, that's fine. I just think people act like that's, like, some like key component of their character, and it's like not even actually implied. So yeah, it's, I guess it only annoys me because it feels like if you're gonna be so committed to a minor character, at least get the few things that are canon about them correct, you know? Like, if you're the ultimate Agent 4 shooter, know your Agent 4 facts, right? You know? Like if you gotta be a real one. If you're gonna be a fake Agent 4 fan, how are you gonna be a fake fan of a character that barely exists? Like, nah, you gotta be in. You gotta be all the way in. That's the way I feel about it. Can I stop falling? Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know why I fell there like 5 times. Yeah. I know a lot of it just comes from people being too lazy to do their own research. And it's like someone says something in like a YouTube short or a TikTok and they're like, oh, this is 100% canon. So, I mean, you know, on some level that's on the part of the creators too. But it's just the creators, you know, it's the same problem. It's just people being like, I heard this from some guy one time, so it must be real. Well, writing 4 as dumb and childish is like probably has more basis than writing them as scholarly, because in their art, all their art, they're just kind of like goofy and smiling all the time, and they were on Team Chaos. So like, I think that's more canon than saying they are really good at school. I mean, it's literally just that they smile. I mean, I think them being Team Chaos is notable. For sure. Like, all of the other agents are Team Order. All being, you know, 3 and 8. But, you know, Cuttlefish is Order, Marie is Order. The only Squidbeak members that are Chaos are Callie and Agent 4. So I feel like that's, like, more notable. Yeah, the Chaos Gremlin is, like, more notable. I feel like that's been more enforced by, you know, the actual canon than anything to do with school or whatever. Okay. I'm just talking about Agent 4 more than I'm even talking about side order at this point. It's not really anything good here. I mean, Agent 3 followed an old dude into a manhole, so I don't know. I guess I like the, you know, Chaos Gremlin depiction of 4 more than any other depiction, because again, that's just, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, they're such a minor character in the grand scheme of things, or at least their characterization is very minor to the story of the game, that like, you know, any interpretation is fine. Like, it doesn't matter. But for me personally, as someone who likes to largely stick to the canon, and, you know, kind of understand what the intentions were. Like, artistic intention isn't everything, but I guess that's, you know, I just like to stick to that. So any depiction that is closest to what we know of Agent 4 to be true 100% is what I am going to lean towards. Also, oh my god, I'm about to die. I don't know why I forgot they give you more spinny guys. I was doing that wrong. Yeah, I'm sorry. The yap was too strong. I mean, this one's really, you can do this one really safely once you have more damage, but it's a bit tricky to stop the thing from healing. Please don't ricochet. Okay, good. Oh my god. Okay, here's all the guys. That should do it. No, it won't. No, it's close. I'm gonna. Okay, just run up and bomb. Run up and bomb. That's not, is that gonna work? That's not gonna work. Okay. Whew. Okay, that was a thing. What more can I say about Side Order while we're climbing? I don't know. This is kind of where we get into the, like, I don't exactly know what I'm supposed to be even doing because I did just make this giant video talking about it. Showed off pretty much everything I wanted to. There's some Order concept art, but I guess we'll obviously wait for that. The battering lunches only spawn if you're up there? Oh. I did not realize that. Yeah, I should not have gone up there. I was genuinely just going on autopilot. I normally know not to do that. Okay, this one's easy. Please don't make me regret calling it easy. I don't think I will. This one's normally very smooth, but we'll see. I'm trying to lock in a little bit more. Oh yeah, so there is like coral that spawns up here too, in the backgrounds. Yeah, I was about to say I don't think the spring guys even they don't even get aggroed. They don't get stronger. Agent 4 Master Doc? You need like 2 sentences, bro. I tried to make a joke. Do I still have this somewhere? I think I mentioned this before, but let me actually pull it up. Did I put it in like scrapped? Did I delete it? Hang on. No, here, everything about Agent 4. I was gonna try and make a lore thing that was everything about Agent 4 into a YouTube short, but it was too long. It was longer than a minute. So there's more Agent 4 content that can fit in 1 minute. I'll give them that. I think we're past the spire's halfway point. This place doesn't light up, does it? Hell, you hold up, 8. You should rest a little before you hit the next floor. I'm so sorry you have to go through all this. If only Order hadn't found a way into my mind. Okay, this is actually important dialogue, right? Yo, don't feel bad. None of this is your fault, Marina. I mean, somewhere deep down, I did wish for a perfect world of peace where nothing had to change. It was a weakness in me that Order took advantage of. Lots of people are afraid of change. Even me sometimes. You too, Oct? Personally, it's never been in my top 10 fears. But I know that whatever you wished for, it wasn't this. You don't got nothing to apologize for. So dry those eyes. 8 and me are gonna pump the brakes on Order. Just sit back and enjoy the fireworks. But Pearl, 8... No, I can't just sit back. I'm going to do whatever I can to help fix this. Good. With all of us pitching in, we'll make this right. Okay. Let me double check the Agent 4 doc. Agent 4 is the 4th member of the new Squidbeak Splatoon after Callie, Marie, and Agent 3. On the Splatoon world map, we can see that they live not too far from Inkopolis, apparently about 40 minutes by train. Before the events of Splatoon 2, Agent 4 kept themselves busy with extracurriculars and didn't watch much TV, so they didn't even know who the Squid Sisters were until getting recruited. Working together with Marie and Sheldon, they made their way through Octo Canyon, taking Zapfish from the Octarian domes while using a wide array of weapons. 4 confronted DJ Octavio in Cephalon HQ, where they learned that Callie was being mind-controlled. Sheldon gave Agent 4 a modded Rainmaker to finish off Octavio, winning the fight and saving the Great Zapfish and Callie. In Splatoon 2's Final Fest, Agent 4 was on Team Chaos because they prefer to go with the flow and value freedom and flexibility. This easygoing attitude is reflected in their promotional art, in which they tend to appear more confident and cheerful than the other agents. Agent 4 can be seen in the Splatoon 2 first anniversary photo as well as the Tower Records collaboration image. Between Splatoon 2 and 3, Captain Cuttlefish introduced Agent 4 to Off the Hook. While designing the Memverse and the events leading up to Side Order, Marina decided to put Agent 4 in charge of security. When Order took control of the Memverse, part of Agent 4's soul was turned into a pallet, and Order used Agent 4's data to create parallel canon. It's said to have done this due to rumors that Agent 4 was the strongest Inkling. We don't actually know if that's true, just that Order believed it. We don't actually know if that's true, just that Order believed it, likely due to 4 being assigned to Memverse security. I think there's also some, like, obscure lore about them being the one to decorate their Sunken Scrolls booklet. And that is the entirety of Agent 4 lore. Which, to be fair, when you read it all out like that, I mean, if I ignored the gameplay, right, then like, that would not be a lot. But yeah. Yeah, it would have been nice to get something about what they're actually doing right now. But also, again, like, that being their entire character is like, I just don't care. I do not personally care, but it would have been nice. I mean, I would definitely have liked more boss variety, but being able to fight Marina again would be kind of weird because it's basically just like a tutorial fight for Order. I have lucky bombs, so this might be good to have. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, it's just like, I'd rather them just make an OC at that point. Because, like, all the agents, like, you know, people all definitely have their own interpretations of the agents, but, like, for me, if you're going to make an agent OC, in my mind, it's like, okay, you take all of the canon lore and, like, interpret that in some interesting way. Like, that's why I think people writing Agent 8 is really interesting, because, you know, people can have their own interpretations of, like, what the story of Octo Expansion means. Because it's a very, like, personal sort of journey for that character. So people have their own readings of the character, you know, it's probably their own interpretations of Octo Expansion. Like, I just feel like there's a lot more to work with there, and you kind of learn a lot more about the person through their interpretation of Agent 8. Whereas with Agent 4, it's like, it's kind of just their interpretation of, like, Splatoon and Inklings, I guess, which, yeah, at that point, just make an OC. Like, just make an Inkling character that doesn't have anything to do with Agent 4. Yeah, well, again, I mean, yeah, if it's like, I guess a lot of people did just start with Splatoon 2, so it's like their OC is also their agent, which makes sense. I guess it's just a matter of presentation at that point. Like, if you say, like, this is my Agent 4 versus, like, this is my Splatoon 2 character. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's just me being pedantic at that point, but... I would really love a vending machine to get that life back. I probably should not have done it zones, but whatever. They collect garbage and went to space. Yeah, that's the Neo 3 prerequisites. Oh, nice, saturation. Because, like, you know, I'll admit I'm basic. Like, I feel like have a very standard reading of 3 and 8. I don't know. I saw some comic on Twitter the other day where it was like an angsty Agent 3 thing, and it's like, I don't know. I always feel, maybe I shouldn't feel cringe. With all the rest of, you know, the content I make, I really should be over any level of cringe at this point, probably, but... I don't know. When it gets very like fanficky, I get more self-conscious about it. But I do enjoy some angsty Agent 3, I will say. I also just the thing with edgy Agent 3, right, is I feel like that was how people, for whatever reason, like a lot of the fan art pre-Octo expansion had like, you know, kind of like edgier or like cool or like badass Agent 3 compared to Agent 4. And then Octo expansion just kind of like felt like it like solidified that into canon. So like for me that made it like, you know, I liked that they basically just took the fandom Agent 3 and made it canon. Edgy, not edging. Yeah, Agent 4 just took the blank slate bullet so that Agent 8 could be their own character. Okay, maybe stop doing that. I didn't even like land. I like landed on the big guy. I always forget their names. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I'm totally into making the Agent Zero Cs. It's just with Agent 4 where it's like, you know, it just comes when people confuse canon for fanon. Obviously, if you want to just make them your own character, you know, do whatever you want. I just think the arguments for why Agent 4 should be more present are often based in people literally just not knowing what is fact. Trying to trigger another cosmic crash out. We're coming out on a boss. I mean, good characterization, but not really anything that important. Okay. Missing the Grizzco gold rotation? Oh no. Salmon Run. Oh no, I can't play Salmon Run. So sad. Right. Oh, here we get the cutscene. Oh wait, what's it gonna... Is this gonna be default? Yeah, that's just default Agent 4 because I don't have a Splatoon 2 save data for this. I do love that cutscene. I wish you saw it more than once. But yeah. Hang on. So, we do have some concept art for Parallel Canon. Oh, I scrolled away from my notes. Where did I have it? Here it is. I can just scroll. Right. So this stuff is pretty interesting because there's like obviously this is like the Agent 4 look that we got, but there's lots of weird other like very, you know, less robotic and almost like weird like knight designs. Like the crown is really interesting. I really like the way this one looks with like the sword Splatana, I guess. But like the like cape or like ascot, is that what that type of thing is called? I don't know, but yeah. Cool stuff. There's not a whole lot. It's literally just those 2 pages, I guess, but it does look really interesting. I don't know if there's some fan art. I know people really like those designs. Hopefully this will go well, by the way. Basically hackless, 1 life parallel canon. Normally this boss is really easy, but normally I'm very aggressive, because I can be, so we'll see. Oh god. As far as I know, there's not a way to change Parallel Canon's customization. Which is kind of weird, because they made sure that you could change the captain whenever you wanted in Return of the Mammalians. But here you're just stuck with whatever you had. There's more early concepts on a different page? Oh, okay. Well, I'm probably not gonna bother pulling this up. One left. Oh my god. Okay, I was about to say never mind, that was actually still really easy, and then I almost died at the last second. Alright. Strongest inkling, by the way, yeah. Good going, eh? We got a locker here out the deal. My boss, though, huh? This order creep ain't pulling its punches anymore. Must have made these to stop anyone from ruining its plan. I remember it said it wants to turn the members into a colorless world of order. A world of mindless puppets, huh? Sounds exactly like where I was before I came here. Oct, you weren't in the Deep Sea Metro, were you? This is a little bit annoying, because, like, they are green. I feel like Marina should have, like, clued into this a little earlier, but, you know, they had to explain the lore. I guess it kind of works, but yeah. Hold up, the Deep Sea Metro, that's where we pulled 8 out from. That's the place. Someone or something there took my will away. I was forced to DJ for it. I don't remember much about my time there, except I heard this voice. Point is, it's better left in the past. I can't believe you went through something so awful. You know, I developed the members in the first place to restore the minds of sanitized Octarians like you. And since we're having this conversation, that means it must have worked. Huh, so that was you, was it? I'm racking up quite the debt. All this is even more reason to take back the members from Order. Those other Octolings need help too. Okay, yeah, I need to get that life back. But yeah, I know some people, did I talk about this on stream? I feel like I just talked about this, but I don't remember. But I don't see that as a retcon of their, you know, previous lore. Like, I still think Oct, like, you know, the idea that they were, like, willing, partially willing to be sanitized is still a thing. I don't know if I need max range. But, yeah, I think it's just the idea that Oct kind of, they basically forgot everything that happened, or most things that happened, you know, while they were sanitized in the events leading up to it. Yeah, we got range now. Go. I think this is taking longer than it should. I guess they're outpainting me more than if I had some hacks, maybe. Oh my god. Probably because I'm not actually killing most of them. I gotta use my range more. Come on. Come on. Cool. Yeah, I mean, they obviously feel, like, not great about about wanting to be sanitized or about what happened. So, I think you can read, you know, you can read it two different ways. So I should probably do this now. But yeah, okay, we're the meat grinder floor. I do really like this cool, like, glitch effect of, like, the, you know, the texture of certain objects. I kind of wish they did more with that, like the, like, kind of corruption look. Also, yeah, we have, okay, so To this day, I'm still a little bit confused about this. Like, I don't know if this is Marina mixing up the mem cakes into memories, or if this is Order destroying memories. Because the cubes kind of look grayscaled. Like, the cubes get put into, like, the black ink and turned, like, colorless. And here they kind of look like they're in that state, but then they're going into the, you know, being ground up and mixed together by this giant, like, stirring device. Sounds like what Marina describes in the dev diary. So, I mean, maybe it's both. Maybe it's like this was originally how this was done, but then Order made them get grayscaled first, so they're just, like, being destroyed. But then they're said to be incinerated, and we see the smokestacks later on, so it's like, does he do both? I don't know. It's a little unclear. Yeah, I think like most of it is definitely Marina, I guess. So yeah, I might have mentioned this in one of the other streams. Side Order probably does have my least favorite soundtrack of all of the games. Like, some of the songs are fantastic. I still think, oh, what's it called? What's the third stage of the Infinity Ball one? I'm blanking on what it's called now, but that one is amazing. Like, Leaving with Pearl is genuinely a really great remix. Souvenir, right. Souvenir is fantastic. This one, I don't like this one. I don't like this, like, series of songs all that much. Maybe part of the reason I don't love the the Turbine levels that much. I'm not super into these songs. Yeah, I just think overall, I mean, again, it's the finale for me. Spectrum Obligato just doesn't. It should have been Color Pulse, right? It really should have been a remix of Color Pulse. I think someone might have commented that on the video, but like, if we already did Ebb and Flow. That's my whole thing, is we already did an Ebb and Flow as a final boss theme. Even without the whole tonal shift, I didn't want another Ebb and Flow remix. It should have been Color Pulse. If you're gonna remix another Off the Hook song, make it Color Pulse. Because it's about, that's more specifically about like Pearl and Marina's like relationship, I feel like. And it just would have been better to have something different. I don't know. They are not Eevee, which is kind of weird. Like, that's always been kind of an issue I've had with, like, it's really cool that we get this environmental storytelling until we defeat Order, but then, yeah, the members continues to just look like the memories are being destroyed after we're friends with Smollusk, which is really weird. Yeah, but I don't know. I really never liked the idea that Ebb and Flow was Off the Hook's Calamari Incantation. Especially because Calamari Incantation is Marina's Calamari Incantation, right? Like, that song already has significance to her as a character, so it's, like, weird for them. I don't know. I just wish Side Order got more of its own thing. Yeah, it's just good enough. The rest of them are fine. They can be destroyed. We don't care. And yeah, it's like Inkopolis Square. Yeah, I just think Color Pulse would have fit better. And then it would have been like properly foreshadowed. Like in my first playthrough, I heard that Color Pulse was the level clear jingle in the tutorial. And like, oh, that means we're getting like an awesome version of Color Pulse at the end. And I mean, you know, this melody gets turned into Spectrum Obligato, but then it just, yeah, I don't know. It would have been more interesting to me if it was its own thing. I don't love, I know some people do really like New World Order. I don't know, it doesn't do a lot for me. I just like, I don't know, I like final boss themes to be more like melodic, I guess, and it's just kind of busy and like it fits the tone of the fight and what's going on, but I don't know, just as a song, listening to it doesn't do a whole lot for me. I think it's definitely the weakest, probably the weakest Splatoon final boss related theme of any of them, in my opinion. I could see an argument that like Bomb Rush Blush is worse, but honestly I think I like that more. Yeah, Rainbow Calamari Incantation got it at least. Runs going pretty good, huh? I feel like we got to be getting close now. You're right, we're almost at the top floor. Oh yeah, shouldn't be long before we get this wrapped up, then it's back to our world tour. Off the hook, was it? I'm eager to get out of here so I can catch your act. Our science is tight. Peep the disclaimer first, because we've been known to blow minds. We still have a few shows left in our tour. You and Ada are more than welcome to come see one. I'll think about it. That would mean flying. Never been on a plane before. Okay, yeah, so that's something to talk about, actually, is the weird implication that Off the Hook's music has supernatural effects. There's a different line of dialogue that like more explicitly talks about it, but it's like Pearl says we've been known to blow minds. There's some line where Oct, like it's like a post-game thing where Oct went to a concert and they say the crowd was almost unnaturally enthusiastic. And then Marina is like, "Oh, you think so? And is it possible that like Pearl's voice imprinted on the subconscious memories of the people in the members or whatever?" So I don't know what that means. I don't know if that will like matter in the future, if there's going to be a bunch of people that were like affected by Pearl and Marina, like how people were affected by the Calamari Incantation. I don't know. But it's an interesting thing to keep in mind for the future, I guess. The normal boss themes are very good, that's true. Let's go Fire and Speed. Actually, it's Danger. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. We'll see. They blew up someone's head, maybe. I mean, they could respawn. Oh, it's Darkness. Okay, that might be bad. Oh, it's this? Oh, it's this map. This might be bad. This might be bad. Hold on. I'm glad I've splashed down. That's true. I mean, maybe, yeah, it's just like they heard, you know, the song playing in the members, so they like, I don't know, it's like attuned, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it's like attuned with their soul or something. I don't know. That would literally just be Calamari Incantation 2 at that point, though, so I don't really know the like narrative reason they would do that. Okay, I thought this would be way harder. I guess I'm buffed up enough that it did not prove to be an issue. Nice. That one can be really hard. I think my current build was just suited for it. It's like Stockholm Syndrome? I don't know about that. Guess I'm not getting a lot of good chips this run, to be honest. I mean, we got lucky with the lucky bombs early on, but beyond that. Oh, here we go, Souvenir 3. Shoot. Okay, we're just gonna go around. Oh wow. Jeez, I feel like those guys are tankier than usual. I guess I'm used to having some hacks. Oh my god, dude, really? No. Oh, did the lucky bombs blow it out of place? I think that's actually what happened. Okay, just stay away from it. Cool. right before the best part of the song, unfortunately, but we got it. Bum, bum, bum. Do I risk the rigorous for poison ink? I can probably handle it. I have 2 lives. Bum, bum. DPS check, yeah. I mean, not so much in on zones, I think it is. Not so much on Infinity Ball. I forget how tanky the big portals are. Just keep it moving. Got the disc. Okay, good. Oh, that's discs. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus. That was a lot of guys spawning at once. Nice. Okay, that was really lucky placement with the Beyblades. Nice. I feel like that one is actually always kind of easy for me. I've had like a few times I've struggled with it, but it just normally appears so late in the run that I don't end up struggling too much. Let's do piercing. Bum bum. Also, I forgot to mention, I adjusted the stream layout a little bit. Obviously I added the logo, but I also made like the actual gameplay screen a little bit bigger. I want to keep... I've had like an idea in mind of what I want it to look like. I want to like add more things. I also like, I feel like the resolution is weirdly low on my streams, and I'm not sure... I messed around with like bitrate and stuff, but I couldn't really figure it out, so... I don't know. Dudes be sleeping as the step off song. It'd be funny if that was like a 1 in 50 chance or something. You could get that song instead. Situationally very easy, yeah. I got a splashdown ready if these guys start swarming me. Cool. Yeah, well, 7. Ideally, I'd be able to have, 1080p. I don't know, because, I mean, it should be 1080p, but it looks okay. It just, I wanted to have, I don't know. When I was testing it, it didn't look as good as I wanted to. Top floor, everyone. The order must be waiting for us there. I'm partially responsible for what's going on, so I'll go out there with you, 8. Without a weapon? Forget that. I know, but I have to. Look, it's pretty much impossible to change Marina's mind once it's set. But she can handle herself without a weapon. There shouldn't be a problem. That's so sweet of you, Oct. Alright, I can see when I'm outvoted. No big blazes of glory, though, okay? You got it, Pearl. You coming too, Oct? Nah, I'd rather not get in your way. I'll watch from here in case things go south. Good looking out. And yo, if things go real bad, keep Marina safe. Get hyped, get psyched. Get ready for a big ol' messy fight. Okay, so we can look at some order concepts really quick. Interesting that Smallest was gonna, be the same kind of like black design. I like the white contrast better. I think that kind of works better for what the character is. But yeah, there's also a concept where Order's just like in like a cage instead of like, more of a digital force field, which is interesting. This is kind of interesting. Look where the tentacles like turn into the fish. Oh yeah, and these weird like portal tentacle designs. So you can see like a marina on the screen there. That's funny. And then, yeah, this kind of main big concept, I guess, of like the fight. I mean, it's all pretty much like what you would expect. Like, there's a little bit of iteration. Oh yeah, Grand Festival stuff. I mean, I like that you see all the weird like bones and teeth and pieces and things. But yeah, pretty much, pretty close to the final in terms of like the broad strokes. But yeah, all right, hop in there now. Yeah, the red background would have been cool. Control room. I do really love the look of, you know, the original room. The static on the screens, the pulsing tentacles. Kind of wish they would have done more with this before Pearl just blows it all up. Like, it looks cool, but it's pretty static. Also, it's interesting that the, you know, the deep, or not deep cut, off the hook stage is there. I mean, that's probably a remnant of like Marina's original design. But, like, would she have just started doing like a DJ party when someone picks their soul? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, that was my whole initial reaction to Side Order. I made that video where it's like, you know, snow symbolically just represents death, but it also kind of references marine snow, which is literally dead, you know, pieces of dead sea creatures. The bleached coral is dying coral. You have, yeah, the kind of skeleton, the bony fish motifs. And yeah, I don't really know. I feel like that kind of didn't end up fully coalescing with like the theme of change all that much. Like it works as like a threatening evil guy, you know, being based around death visually, but yeah. Yeah, they're similar to the corruption. I think the corruption effect was a bit more red. I like that like weird like red and green like static effect is really cool on them. How it like just continuously flows in one direction. I kind of wish Order looked more like that. Maybe it should be said, I kind of don't love Overlorder's design. Like, it is cool, and I like all the weird, like, bone, you know, stuff going on, and, like, the 8-ball eyes, but, like, I don't know, I just feel like after, like, the insanity that was Octo Expansion, and even, like, DG Octavio's design, it kind of feels like a regression to just have, like, big octopus at the end of a Splatoon game. Yeah, I don't know, it feels a little off. I wish they incorporated more of, like, the cool, like, digital smoke effect of, like, this form of Order. Or, yeah, if the tentacles just looked more like this. Or it was just, like, a weirder shape. And, like, it just feels weird having, like, an actual, like, octopus, I guess. I don't know. Why did Marina just make a backup? I mean, whether or not she made a backup, you know, they're still stuck in the members. I don't know. I guess, yeah, there's the element of, like, the memories that get incinerated, but, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it looks a little too goofy for what it's trying to do. Yeah. And once again, I just have to say, I really wish the multiplayer versions of the Order weapons had the holograms. Because, like, this looks so much cooler, dude. Like, it just being the plain weapon, it feels so lame. I never want to use the Order weapons in multiplayer because they're just, like, plastic and they don't have all the, like, the cool tech that actually makes them look interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead, I guess, and enter. The music that plays in this cutscene, by the way, is, like, really cool. I actually really like it. Like, it starts off simple, but it kind of I'll turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear it. A perfect world is a stable world. It has no need for change, for variation. It has no need for desire, for conflict. In this world, none desire what might be. They embrace what is. Their lives are peaceful ones. I will achieve a quiet and peaceful world. Reasons to oppose this include error, no reasons found. Here we go, the music gets good. I can't deny that the chaotic world is an unstable one. That uncertainty can tire you out or make you scared of what tomorrow might bring. There have been times where I wished everything could stay the same forever. Sometimes when colors clash and mix, you end up with mud. But every now and then, you get to see a beautiful rainbow. And in the end, that's a gamble I'm willing to take, with Pearl and 8 and Oct and everyone else. This world's architect, my creator, would deny me. Illogical, irrational, error, an unrecoverable mentality error has occurred. The sentence for interruption of order is eradication. Magistrate of order. We'll turn it down a little bit. But yeah, like, I just feel like it doesn't look as, like, creepy as it's supposed to. It looks a little silly. I don't know. Oh, you do actually see Marina on the screen there. Okay, I wasn't sure about that. I saw it in the concept. An unrecoverable mentality error has occurred, me playing ranked. Wow. So yeah, I mean, I just have very mixed feelings about Order. I know I kind of gassed up that cutscene in the video, and I do really like it. Like, I definitely like what they're going for, but yeah, like, Order just saying, like, reasons to oppose this include nothing error. Like, it's, I don't know. Again, just the tonal, they can't commit to it being any tone. It has to always have a little bit of goofy. It's like a Marvel quip situation. It feels less sincere. I guess that's what it is. It just lacks the sincerity of Octo Expansion for me. Which is also a problem with Return of the Mammalians, of course. But even Return of the Mammalians, I feel like, plays it straight. Like, I don't know. Mr. Gris has all the goofy CEO puns, but, like, it still kind of, like, pretends that it's serious. Obviously, there's lots of other issues, but the tone isn't exactly something that... Well, it's a localization issue, I think, more than an original script issue. But yeah, this song, again, it's not bad. I like the part where it goes, like, into halftime and has, like, the almost, like, a laughing sound, but the majority of it is just kind of, like, eh. This part, yeah. Yeah, I don't know about orders. As far as I know, side order is generally translated very accurately compared to the other Splatoon campaigns. But I'm not sure about order specifically, but Grizz definitely had some localization. They just made him make puns a lot more. Yeah, this fight is really not that bad. Like, okay. Well, there's my armor. I had to jinx it right when the Reef Sliders came out. But yeah, for not that many hacks, this fight is never really too tough once you know what to do. I mean, not all of them. I mean, they're all puns, but yeah, all like business related, like business speak and whatever, when it doesn't really make sense for him to be saying it. Like him saying, like, we're going to move the world into a fuzzy and profitable new era. Like, what do you mean? You're like turning everyone into mindless creatures. What do you mean profitable? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah. It's not really the same situation as his Salmon Run dialogue. They kind of just made him more goofy for no reason. What even just broke my armor? Was it like an arpeggio? I'm not sure. Yeah, no, at first it was hard. I'm just saying, like, once you know what you're doing. Yeah, I don't know. None of Overlord's dialogue is particularly noteworthy. It's just like, oh no, I'm getting attacked. Oh, okay. Okay. I think I got a swim speed buff at some point that just saved me. Did I? Yes. I literally think I would have died if I didn't have that swim speed chip. The Stingray attack, of course. Well, no, they did, yeah. Grizzly's localization did change to more reflect... Oh my god, I was gonna say, I didn't think you could just stand right next to him during that attack. But yeah. They did make Grizz a bit more accurate in Splatoon 3. Oh, that worked that time. Okay, you can tank it. Such chaotic strength, it is fearsome. So I don't know what program he's talking about. Like, I don't know. This kind of just comes out of nowhere. Like, was he trying to build up this grayscale attack the entire time? Like, they don't really ever actually hint at that. Also, are those Inklings randomized? Like, is this like an MP4, or is that like actually like, does that load in Inkopolis, Plaza, and Slatsville? I do not know. Think they're the same every time? Okay. Interesting. But yes, now we have this. And like, this is cool. I don't know. I definitely don't like the writing in this scene, but like, this moment is fun. The power of vibes. So a bunch of people have commented stuff like, I don't know if it's necessarily Marina's song. Like, in my video, I kind of insinuated that like Marina playing the song is what allowed everyone to come out of grayscaling. And I guess that's not necessarily the case, but the only other explanations people have are that like, oh, the music was like coming from 8's soul, which like, I don't really know if that's better. Like, why? I wish we had to save the other characters. I wish there was a sequence here where like we had to like save Pearl and Marina and Oct, and it didn't just all happen automatically in a cutscene. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, Pearl says, I'm feeling your vibe, 8. Like, Undertale, yeah. This whole moment is very Undertale, but not necessarily... I don't know if they learned the right lessons. Also, yeah, there's Oct's arm getting magically healed. For some reason, we can do that now. Not magically, you know. I should be careful about using the word magic when talking about Splatoon lore, but conveniently healed. And again, the tone, just, we immediately just lose any of the, like, creepiness or whatever, like... It's fun. I just don't think it's earned, and it happens too fast. Yeah, like, the song would have worked if there was just any, like, setup for it. Really, if they built up the grayscaling attack more, too, I think that would have helped. Like, it all just... You beat the 3 phases, and then just everything happens. With, like, no build-up or foreshadowing or anything. I don't think that's it, Eevee. And also, that doesn't really explain how the rest of the people get saved anyway. Like, Pearl and Marina. Don't get cooked. Stay off the hook. But yeah, like, again, I really think Marina should have been the one to like yes, Pearl is the one who like guides Marina to her growth, but Marina should have had that moment to like really prove herself, I think. Yeah. Also, man, they need to like they need to work on the pacing of like cutscenes and stuff, because like it was obviously a bigger problem in Return of the Mammalians, but like I don't know. It's always the thing I go back and forth on. As much as I love Splatoon's story, I really don't want there to be like a super long cutscene in the middle of a boss fight. I'm not into that in general. I don't know. Yeah, I really think 8 should have had to rescue the others in gameplay. All the energy from those color chips surged directly into the palette. So there are some interesting implications here that we will check out in a second. Oh, we are speedy. I mean, Octo Expansion, yeah, it's not in the middle of a boss fight. Octo Expansion works perfectly, because it's, you fight Agent 3, then there's a long cutscene, then you fight Tartar. It's not, you know, watching Huge Fry transform for 4 minutes after doing the first 3 phases of Grizz. It's not that egregious in side order either, but I just don't really want this to be a thing in like every Splatoon boss fight going forward, I guess. So you don't have to use the color whale, by the way, and you do get slightly different dialogue. I don't know what should I do. I'll let you guys decide, maybe. I like the flashy cutscenes, I just want them to be before or after the fight. Also, sorry to kill the vibes for a second, but these descriptions, I tweeted about this once, but yeah, these all have unique descriptions. A good, how do you say it? Gestalt, I think is how you say this, or Gestalt. Anyway, a gestalt of the countless thoughts that have been pulled into the members. You feel like you're brimming with strength. You feel like you're everywhere at once. You feel like nothing is out of reach. You feel like the world has your back. You feel like luck is on your side this time. With Pearl at your side, anything is possible. This is very, very Undertale. But yeah, also, yeah, I know about the Easter egg, so we can do it. Shoot, I messed it up. It's easier. I'm gonna do D-pad. Okay, hang on. Oh my god, it's weirdly hard to actually pull this off. To do it actually fast enough to like hear the song. Okay, it is ebb and flow. I'm really bad at doing that quickly enough to like actually hear the song. But yes, it's ebb and flow. Yes. Also, you get like, these are like sparkly. I didn't notice that. His music is this fire. Mine is not. Yeah. Anyway, so that creep with every color chip at once. Yeah, I will do it. Also, I do love that it's just like a hacked gun. Ready to see a color whale? So Pearl does get, like, behind it. Yeah. Huh. Super laser piss. Undefined errors occurring. Did we win? What the? Wait, what's that? It's so cute. You, okay, I don't want to read. And we're done reading. I'm not reading any more small dialogue out loud if I never have to. Okay, it's like Order, except a lot less scary. I don't think blah 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 blah. Sweet, case closed then. Yo, baby puss, you were down with our music, right? You can get your VIP seats to our show if you promise to be on your best behavior. Oh, Pearl. Oh, thank God. All right, time for us to bounce. We got to get back to the real Inkopolis Square. The text box goes away very fast. Do, 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 do. I don't think the whale can miss, but you can just choose to not activate it. And you do get slightly different dialogue. Pearl is just like, oh, okay, we're just shooting? Fine by me. Something I didn't think to test, though, is after you beat Smolsk the first time, I think Marina... Or maybe when you meet Smolsk the first time, Marina's like, I think, like, you know, the blast from your whale sheared off some core data. So if you don't use the whale, I wonder if that's different. I'm actually not sure. But yeah, that is Side Order. I don't know how much more I'll stream. Well, I might, you know, we can check out the post game a little bit. I guess we can look at the dev diaries. I don't know if I need to reread all the dev diaries. I mean, I've talked about them so much in videos and stuff. We can look through them to see if I have any points to bring up. Why'd that elevator disappear? Well, we can probably assume that this is like the intended exit of the members. Also, this background is like really, really beautiful. Someone actually uploaded like this scene without the characters and the elevator in the way, and it's so pretty. Like that sky scene at the end especially is really, really nice. It's also like kind of sweet that, like, you know, Marina was making this for the sanitized Octarians, and like the first thing they would see after restoring their soul is, like, you know, riding an elevator up and seeing the sky and the sun. Also, yes, Onward is a fantastic song. Do, 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 do. Yeah, for sure. Desktop wallpaper. Also, yeah, so like the city, like, you know, I didn't really notice this till I watched that video, but yeah, there's a cool effect there of like the city like just turning into like the lines of code. Oh yeah, the glow in the dark tentacles on Oct is funny. Well, yeah, I could say we're not gonna end right away, but just while we're waiting, I guess. Thank you guys all for watching, you know, this series of rants. I know last time I thought was gonna be the end of it, but, I'm glad we did this. I had enough things to rant about. Low-key, that one part of the stream, when we were at the start of the elevator, and I was just talking about, like, what I want to see in a Splatoon story, might make that into its own video, just clip that part. Funnily enough, I don't think the Onward motif appears in 47 Onward. Yeah, that would have been kind of cool if the credits, like, you know, the elevator moved up them, but... Yeah, that would be cool, Eevee. I think I remember checking that when it came out. Well, I thought we had moved on from the Onward motif. It's kind of weird that it wasn't really... Is it not at all in Return of the Mammalians? Or am I misremembering? It's definitely more present in Side Order, which is interesting. Also, yeah, it's called Slumber in Japanese. Yeah, shout out Alice for this range. Oh, and the crater, that's true. Hisashi no Gami. I guess so. It's only in the crater though. That's interesting. Yeah, I remember thinking it was Oct voice actor singing, but it's just Marina. Oh, today's her birthday? Wait, that's not today. Isn't today March 1st? Oh, in Japan, right. Sorry, my watch. Why does my watch show the wrong date? Okay, I got really confused for a second. Anyway, shout out Alice Peralta. Happy birthday. Vishnugami did a 0 pose? Oh, like an O, I guess, yeah. Thank you for playing. Yeah, I'm not reading that. This is just saying, guys, come back, play the game. You're not done with the game yet. So yeah, we'll go check out like 100% save, see if there's any other stuff, but like, I think I've mostly covered the things I wanted to say about Side Order. I made that video where I was largely positive, did this stream where, you know, we've discussed positives and negatives. At some point I do just, you know, outside of specific theories or super niche lore, I'd run out of things to generally say. But I've done a lot of yapping about, like, you know, Splatoon stories at large. And I kind of am at a point where I'm, like, genuinely just kind of starting to be out of things to say. So, I mentioned this in, like, the pinned comment of the Side Order video, but yeah, I'm probably gonna try to just shift to, like, smaller-ish videos. Not like, you know, not like shorts or TikToks or anything, but like maybe closer to like 10, 15, 20 minutes rather than 40 minutes or an hour. Kind of like, if you guys know Zeltic, I like the idea of just making kind of like, you know, bite-sized like lore discussion things. Like, here's a neat thing or secret or fact. Maybe that kind of stuff. And then obviously if Splatoon 4 happens, we can, you know, build up all the hype and stuff, and we're going to keep streaming, going to keep playing games. Splatoon, and maybe get some other stuff. Yeah. So, I guess that's that. So, there's not really much of note here. Yeah, so wasn't Incalbo Square filled with spaced out slouches last we heard? Seems like most folks snapped out of it, but some people still aren't all there. Come on, everyone zones out sometimes. You've been able to space yourself, big man. Didn't have to ask someone to pass the soy sauce 3 times yesterday? It's like, I don't know if that's supposed to be because they supposedly had their part of their soul pulled into the members, or if that's just them making fun of each other. I'm actually not sure. Because then they say this, what of it? It's not like we're involved in whatever's happening in Incalbo Square. Yep, nothing to do with us, that's for sure. It's like, is this like a dramatic irony moment? Or is this just literally that nothing has to do with them? I don't know. Pearl's code is pretty nice. Oh, Zeltic did upload today? Yeah, we'll check that out. Yeah, once again, we have the copy-pasted text from Splatoon 2. I'm certain it's meant to be about their souls and they're just idiots. Yeah, that's probably fair enough. Also, yeah. So once again, I think I brought this up on like the Octo expansion stream, but like there was a train station entrance over here where Octo expansion was that got covered up by table turf, and then they just built a different train station entrance here. And like, I don't know, that feels a little silly. Like, it looks, you know, it works, it looks good, but like, why did they do that? I don't think they added Octolinks to the intro dialogue now. Also, Isopadre peak character is now over here. Unfortunately, you can't talk to him. But yes, my initial reaction to that was very interesting. I was very excited. not really anything else. I guess, okay, we'll watch the post-game cutscene on this profile. Yeah, I mean, it's like a city could switch where a train station entrance would be. It's just weird that they would do that. I don't know. Actually, why is Isopadre not a table turf rival? They should have done that. Hey, you came back. Thanks again for helping us put a stop to Order's terrible plan. You cut Order off for most of its power, so there's no need to worry about it pulling anyone else in here. Yeah, everything's chill. Well, mostly. So, the bad news is I've discovered an issue with the pallets still in the Memverse. I forgot about that pearl drawing. Remember when I told you that pallets are a part of a soul belonging to someone pulled into the Memverse? That shouldn't have happened, but Order pulling them in must have forced them into becoming pallets. The safeguards in place to protect the soul's owner must have been tampered with. Sounds like a serious security flaw. Yeah, and if it's not fixed, it could have equally serious consequences in the real world. If we take a pallet to the control room on the top floor of the spire, we should be able to reconfigure the settings to patch the issue. But we can only reconfigure the pallet we take with us. The problem won't really be addressed until we go up the spire with every pallet. And the lockers are still getting off signals from pallets inside. There are still pallets we haven't even seen. Okay, game plan. First, get our hands on all the pallets. Next, take every single one up every floor of the spire. Sounds like a big job, honestly. Yeah, it's the same animation. But the sooner we get started, the sooner it'll be done. It's a powerhouse, and with us helping, we'll be done quicker than it takes me to empty an ink tank. Yay, Pearl, that's the spirit. So yeah, I guess that's a reference to the bit from the color chip dialogue. Yo, I think someone set up shop behind the lockers. Let's go hit the lockers and then check out whoever it is while we're out there. Is there any real reason they couldn't just bring every pallet to the top? I mean, the pallet is like assigned to Pearl and is like how the spire functions. It's a little bit, yeah, just video game logic, but it kind of makes sense. Also, this probably doesn't matter at all, but I'm pretty sure opening any locker is optional. And Marina was like, remember when I told you that a pallet is part of someone's soul? I wonder if she still says that. She probably still says that if you never opened a locker, but interesting that you could technically have that be an oversight. Courageous Octoling, I've been awaiting your appearance. Already you bring change to this world, but there's more change to come. Your bringing isn't complete. I am Cypher. You shop within Cypher's siftings. My preferred currency of exchange is pearls. My delivery system is leaving purchases at the lobby terminal. I hope that your desire is found among my siftings. Welcome, Octoling. What do you desire? So yeah, as I said in the video, I think Order looks really cool and it talks cool and sounds cool. It doesn't do anything ever. Like, it could have been an interesting character, but they just don't do anything with it, so I don't really have any thoughts beyond that. Yeah, it's cool that the sky color changes and the music changes here. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is, like, they don't really do a whole lot with, like, the color theming. Like, they're kind of just like, oh, Order wants to make a colorless world of Order, and we use the color chips and the color whale and its spectrum and, like, all this, like, rainbow, you know, color versus colorless imagery. It's kind of weird that we don't really bring color back, right? Like, the sky changes to blue, and that's kind of it. And, like, I mean, our ink color, you know, obviously we're inking color onto, like, white surfaces, but, like, I don't know, I feel like they kind of only half leaned into, like, the color theming. Which, like, I don't know if that's for the best, because, like, if Order just wanted to, like, remove color, that'd be really lame, but, like, I feel like they could have had more, like, symbolism with the color stuff. I don't know. It doesn't really amount to much. But yeah, if we go ahead and hop into completed save. Didn't even notice the sky, yeah. Well, white is a shade, not a color, technically. Well, it depends if you're talking about the pigment or the, like, hue, I guess. Is that, no, that's the same thing. You know what I mean. If it's paint or, like, digital. Doom, 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 doom. All right. So yeah. I don't know exactly what we're looking at. Because again, this stuff is like, none of this really matters. Like, it's mostly just tutorials, and then it's just Pearl being like, yeah. Kind of same thing here. It is weird that it looks like there's one last slot. Like, you know, I was coping for a super boss, and they do have that one empty space at the bottom of the grid. It's like, come on, man, you could have just, you could have put one more thing there, but yeah. Show the charger comment? Oh, like the palette thing? What even is this one? I don't know what is notable about this one. Really the only one here that I care about is it's funny that Small watches the VODs of their live streams. Or oh, it watches the live streams, then checks the VODs. Okay. The slot is for Glenn. The color chip. Oh, okay. Is it the one that's just like she's like pick up a real weapon? Or oh yeah, probably talking about the time I got one shot by a charger. I don't know which charger one you mean, but yeah, no, I really think there should have been a secret boss. Where's the Glenn Fiddler palette? I mean, maybe he got sucked in the members, we don't know. So yeah. I don't know, this is the point where I kind of, oh, actually, okay, for some reason I never noticed they were in the square here. I just looked at the ground. I don't know where else they would have been, but yeah. Yeah, I looked at most of the stuff in my playthrough. Marina's like in the cafe in the square there. This is interesting because this is literally shot from the Octo expansion trailer, and this is literally the like Memcake promo image that they showed before Octo expansion. But yeah, also I never really looked too closely at this image. Is this like, why is there like an ink tank? Is that meant to like represent a soul? That's weird. There's like a tank inside the people. I don't know what's up with that. Thing about chargers is I can't hit anything, and for some reason everything hit me. Oh, okay, yeah, that is a good line. Oh yeah, Marina's manga drawings. This Sheldon is terrifying. This one still feels so lazy to me. Like, I don't know. I appreciate all this other art so much, but then they're like, okay, let's just like make a gradient swirl in like 1 minute in Photoshop. Oh yes, this was I was talking about earlier. There's like this is probably just like literally the wireframe for the Inkling characters. That almost looks too high poly, but I wouldn't really know. But yeah, this probably could be like a development image, honestly. I mean, not with like it being so wireframe. I'm sure it's like edited, but yeah, kind of cool. That might also be a development image, actually, of the Pearl drone there. That looks just like the model. But they just subdivided it like a bunch more times to make it look more complicated. I guess they could have done that, but kind of funny that they just have normal shaped phones here instead of the squid shaped phones. I feel like that's probably just like an oversight. Or maybe just rectangular phones still exist in the world of Splatoon. I do like the octopus Apple parody on the MacBook. That's funny. Yeah, don't have anything crazy insightful to say. Obviously, this is kind of interesting. Being linked up to the members. I do like that they made 8 wear the Octo tee. It's like if they're gonna have any like default canon outfit, I guess that makes sense. Rectangle phones for people who aren't inkfish. I mean, yeah, but they are inkfish. Like you can see they have pointy ears. I think it's fair to say most of this crowd is inkfish, from the look of it. But yeah, they could have rectangular phones for other people. And obviously, I love these, but I've overanalyzed these to all hell. No, the Splatoon 1 phone is squid shaped. The like loading screen, splash screen. Something I feel like I've definitely brought this up on stream before. But this background looks like pretty close to Kettle 17 from Octo Canyon. Someone actually commented that. I was not insane enough to figure that out myself. I got a comment telling me about that. And like I couldn't line up the angle perfectly, but the background looks really similar. The dome looks similar. It has those like fences with the road signs and everything. So it's like that's probably as close as we're going to get. So I know when I first saw this, I was like, that actually looks like a Splatoon 1 or 2 level. And I think it is. I'm pretty sure they definitely used that as a reference. But yeah. Yeah, as far as we know, Pearl Marina and 8 connected themselves to the Memverse like this, because this talks about like, I mean, she says they're going to do it tomorrow, is they're going to do a test run, but like, you know, I think the implication is definitely that like they're hooked up like this because this is them entering the Memverse. But yeah, everyone else just enters through the phones. So yeah. Oh, you know what I could talk about? I mean, okay, I don't know how much to say about it, but number 3 Etude, the story about Octa and Marina from the art book. If you haven't read it, anyone here, you should. It's really good. But how much can I say? I mean, it just adds some extra context to like their relationship. I really like the way it characterizes Oct and how it like incorporates some of the like gameplay stuff of Splatoon into like, you know, the actual lore. But yeah, I don't know. I guess there's not too much for me to say. I'm clearly kind of running out, I guess, at this point of comments to make about Side Order. Obviously, if I had like the entire list of dialogue in front of me, maybe there are some other things I could point out, but it's just a bit difficult to play through that properly and show it all. So yeah, I guess this is kind of where our like over-analysis of the Splatoon series ends. Well, not really, you know, in terms of these specific live streams, obviously not in general. But yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed. I know today was a bit more, well, no, I don't know. It wasn't any really more directionless than the other ones, but yeah, like I said, for now on, I guess I'll focus on, you know, maybe just some smaller lore tidbits. We'll see. I mean, maybe eventually I'll have some like big theory or points I want to make and it will lead to a big video essay. But, you know, obviously this is kind of a dry period in terms of Splatoon story. Until we get whatever the next thing is, you know, whether that's, I mean, it's probably going to be on Switch too, but, you know, I don't imagine we're going to get anything Splatoon. I guess, I don't know. We have the anniversary. We'll see if the anniversary gives us anything, but likely we're not going to get anything really for the rest of this year. What's the plan for streams going forward? So yeah, I'm not sure. I think we can just do some Splatoon 3. I'd like to play more Splatoon 1. I know it's the Splatoon 1, like, Pretendo is down right now. And they've been trying to fix it for a few days, so I mean, hopefully it gets fixed, but yeah, some Splatoon 3, some Splatoon 1. Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4 seem like they're going to happen pretty soon, and I will stream those. So maybe we could do some other, like, Deltarune type stuff. I know I mentioned playing Ribbit, which is, like, some weird, expansive Deltarune fan mod. maybe I could check that out if some people are interested. I don't know. I can gauge interest on like the Discord and stuff. But yeah, currently playing Deltarune. Nice. Yeah, I'm so excited, dude, for that. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, Switch 2 Direct is gonna be awesome. I don't know if I'd stream that. I'll probably record my reaction to it and post if anything interesting. I'm sure some interesting things will happen, but yeah, no, that's definitely like the thing I'm looking forward to the most right now. It's April 2nd, so it's in a month basically. So yeah, I mean we're counting down the days. I don't think we're getting Splatoon, and I don't want Splatoon unless it's a spin-off. I'd be okay with a spin-off, but I definitely it's too soon for Splatoon 4. I really don't want them to tease it or anything. But yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of having fun just sitting here and yapping now, but I guess I should probably end stream because I have other things to say. But yeah, it might be. I don't know. Like I know some people wanted like a rhythm game, or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think we're seeing any Splatoon this year. But yeah, I'll see you guys another time. Next week we'll do something. Maybe I'll figure it out on the Discord. I don't know. Maybe we could just do Splatoon 3 PvP. Maybe Splatoon 1 if it's up. We'll figure it out. But yeah, see you guys then. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Cosmic. Farewell. And thank you for the support on the new video, by the way. I want to say